Up isn't that interesting if we compare it to the likes of Saiwu, but I think a player that they found interesting is the Heavy God. One more from the Endpoint Talent Factory. There's so many names coming out of this organization, and I think he brings something to the table. I think a guy like him with the likes of Dexter, which we had on OG beforehand, would have been more interesting, but now we have Regali, so it's kind of just the same for me.
Do you think that he's able to cross over though to the big leagues, if you like?
Yeah, I mean, I hope so, because he has the level shown in Endpoint, and I also think they have gone out of their way to actually acquire him. He's not an easy target to get, because there's probably other players or other teams for that that wanted his contract.
It's a new lineup, relatively inexperienced. The first team you go against is the best in the world. That's not easy.
No, but nothing to lose. I think it's a very easy way to go into a game, potentially knowing that, okay, the worst we can do is do what people expect and lose 2-0, but there is room to build, and also as we see that the coach is also not there.
That's just like a knock after a knock after a knock. Now you don't have your coach. You do have Vladdy though standing behind them, her birthday, so happy birthday Vladdy, we'll call that out now. But again now you don't have your coach. You're going up against the best in the world. I mean, you've seen this lineup. What is the potential that OG offers?
They have to hope that Keto involves into this IGL type of approach. We saw it with Heroic. None of these players were star players, quote unquote, but now they have a lot of talent on the team. We've also seen other rosters where he was kind of perceived as the guy you sent in first. He was never really seen as a smart player, but he's really evolved over his career. But it's now time for him to step up to that challenge.
Do you think as a team, I mean, come on, you played professionally. Do they come in? I mean, every team wants to win, but realistically, are they not coming in going, okay, this is going to be tough?
I mean, you're saying the classic things like, okay, let's just take one round at a time. Let's just try to win the pistol. You're obviously not going into the game and feeling the pressure. That's going to be on Vitality's side. They're going to go into this game thinking, okay, anything else than a 2-0 is going to be, quote unquote, a waste of time. So it does help them in that matter.
Does it also help that we don't really know what to expect from OG in terms of their gameplay and their style?
Yeah, exactly. We know that it's a very tactical team on Vitality's side. I know XCAS wants to do a lot of anti-strat, but it's not really possible when you have a fully new roster. There's a lot of new names on the squad, and we also see him with the the ruler lining up his gear.
You got to check all of that stuff, right? Do you think that's a bit of a mental thing there? Because I've always wondered.
I did it. I had my notepad like on my phone. I had my notes on how tall
was it just for your mental?
Yeah, I think so, but it's so hard to replicate that feeling of sitting home. You know, your mom's cooking food, like you have the cook, you have everything, and then you go here, and then you have the water, and you have to set up yourself. It's a hard life.
Okay, I'm going to forgive you now that you've mentioned you did that. I was going to be a little bit rough and talk about how ridiculous it was, but you know what, Bubsky, you can have that. It's our first day on the job, but I want to upset you. We're taking a look now at OG. Again, everything's changed, so it's completely different for this team. Could they potentially in the future, let's look towards the future, because we're going to be seeing a lot more of them. Do you think that if they have a bit of time together, this could be a good mix?
I hope so. I think Regali was actually a pretty decent Danish player. He's half Romanian, half Danish, so I hope that he would have stayed in the Danish scene, but actually went to OG. There is names on this list that I think is interesting. We also saw Nexius, who played IM Sydney with Mouse, so they have a couple of interesting pieces, but it's just so hard when we see other teams, what they are bringing to the table. It's so hard to justify that this team is potentially going to be a playoff runner.
Do they have the individual skill, the firing power to compete with the best in the world?
I actually think their firepower is actually pretty decent. I think Figo Stiegel and Keto Stiegel is actually really, really good, so it's not often the aim that is lacking. I just think that they don't have the same teamwork and level of understanding that other teams are bringing.
On the plus, we know what to expect from Vitality, right? There's more than enough tape on them. So, I mean, OG can do a lot of preparation.
Exactly. So they have obviously an advantage of being the smaller team here. They can look at all the demos, they can see where Saiwu goes, but I think other teams have had that logic before and be like, okay, we know where Saiwu plays, but all of a sudden he still kills 4 people, right? So it's so hard to prepare for teams that are so well.
We have a pretty good head-to-head that we can compare now, and you've been bringing up these names. Regali and Dexter coming up now, so walk me through what you're thinking here.
I mean, I think Regali has played decently. I don't think he's done anything majorly wrong, but if we look at the qualifiers, I think a guy like Dexter, he would have gone into those qualifiers, and he would have probably gone through at the first game or the first qualifier. But with Regali and OG, it took them so long to get through it, what's the 3rd or 4th, that they've managed to get to the close. So I just expect a little bit more from Regali, and I hope he can push into that category of being the new Dexter.
Let's talk now about their overall matchup. I'm going to say it, and this is Vitality 2-0.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you that. It's going to be easy for Vitality, I believe, but I think OG has nothing to do, so I hope to see them come up with a lot of interesting stuff that they can use for tomorrow.
Well, this is the thing, right? Like you said, they don't have anything to lose. They're going up against the best in the world. Their coach is not here. it's a new lineup, so technically they can kind of come in and just play and get a feel for one another.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone through that journey myself before, so it's really lovely to actually have this way of playing that you're going to a tournament and you're being like, and then you see all of a sudden in the snack room, oh my god, that's Saiwu, and like you have nothing to lose, you just enjoy the experience. Obviously some of these players have tried it before, but for the heavy god, some of those names have not been used to sitting on a stage like this.
Look how nice we're being for our first game. This is not who we are.
I'm not normally nice. I'm actually pretty toxic.
So I'm really impressed with how we're very well behaved. We're being so cheerleady for OG. Of course, though, Vitality, this is the team everyone's going to be keeping an eye on. 2024, is this their year? Do they carry on?
I think they are the team to watch, the team to beat, and I think other teams are looking at them and how can we evolve our playbook, because the guy in the picture, Apex, has really stepped up his level. I always thought he was a little bit of a gimmick IGL in the start.
What?
Wait,
gimmick
in the start of his career when he played with the full French lineup, I didn't really understand how they played. I think it was just the guy to the right who was really doing a lot of stuff. But then when he got in with the international roster, I really got a lot of respect for what he achieved with those guys, because it isn't an easy task to get the likes of Magic. I've tried it myself, Sonic. Those are guys you have to make room for in the setup and also make it work, and he did it to an A+.
Apex, for me, I feel like is a little bit undervalued sometimes and not spoken about enough, because I do think that what he's been able to do is incredible.
He finished off the year with I think a 111 rating, which is unheard of in terms of IGLs. He's always been perceived as this IGL in the same category as a Carrigan, kind of not killing too many people, but he's really put that statement to the side and really shown that he can also join the server and really kill a lot of people.
I think that he also creates the space that Zaiwu needs to pop off. So Apex, one to keep an eye on. Right, we have a little bit of a technical issue, which means we're going to be crossing to a break, but don't go anywhere, because the moment we get it all sorted, we're coming back for Apex and his Vitality team to take on OG.
นาวีเริ่มต้นยุคใหม่แปลว่าผีเสื้ออ๋อภาษาอะไรอ่ะน่าจะจบคู่นี้นะครับไม่น่าถึงแอดสลิปอสดึกอ่ะในวาโลตอนนี้มีใครรู้ว่าไซบูไหมก็มีเดมอนวันครับผมปีที่แล้วปีของเดมอนปีก่อนปีของเยขอบคุณน้ำปั๊มนะครับผม23 เดือนนะครับคุณนะครับสวัสดีนะครับสวัสดีน้องปื้มนะครับผมสวัสดีทวิตสวัสดี YouTube ใช่ตัวนี้ซีม2ที่นะครับสะดวกที่ไหนก็ที่นั่นได้เลยนะครับพี่ไม่รู้ว่าตอนนี้ภาพดูแข่งในทวิตตอนนี้มันโอเคไหมมันลื่นไหลปกติใช่ไหมเพราะว่าพี่ดึงภาพทวิตมาจาก YouTube ของพี่เพราะพี่สตรีม2 เครื่องคือเครื่องนี้ YouTube เครื่องหลักเนี่ยที่คุยกับทุกคนอยู่ใน YouTube แล้วก็เป็นเครื่องทวิตอีกเครื่องทวิตจะดีเลย์ประมาณ5 วิกินเยลลี่ครับผมกินเยลลี่ของลูกฮะหิวครับผมลงไปเมื่อกี้หยิบขนมติดไม้ติดมือมามีแต่เยลลี่ครับคือสมมุติเวลาซื้อขนมมาจากเวลาไปซูเปอร์อ่ะซื้อขนมมาให้ลูกใช่ปะก็ต้องซื้อมา2 ชุดแอตตันชุดหนึ่งเอเธอร์ชุดหนึ่งแล้วบางทีแบบซื้อมาปุ๊บเอเธอร์ไม่ได้กินไงก็วางไว้บนชั้นแล้วก็ซื้อพ พออีกวันนึงซื้อมาอีกชุดหนึ่งก็เอาไปของไอเธอก็อยู่เป็นชั้นเงี้ยแล้วคือจะไม่ให้เขาหมดเลยค่อยๆให้ทยอยให้เขาแล้วของไอเธอมันเหลือเยอะจะหยิบมากินก่อนยังไม่ได้มาต่อซับในทวิตเลยโอ้ยสะดวกเมื่อไหร่ก็ตัดเลยครับผมส่วนน้องพี่นัทนะครับผมดูถึงก็ไม่เกินตี 2อะยังไงก็ตามเดี๋ยวดูอารมณ์ก่อนถ้าคนเยอะเดี๋ยวอยู่ยาวไม่รู้คนจะมาดูหรือเปล่าเพราะหลังๆแบบคนดูเคาน์เตอร์น้อยลงอยากรู้สเปคคอมครับ 5900X นะครับผมการ์ดจอ 7900X ครับผม
We're back baby blast premiere halfway through 4 best of 3s today which means we've changed over shifts congratulations tech girl on your first segment here in the premiere
ดูเมื่อไหร่ก็จัดเลยครับน้องเนยน้องแชมป์มาดีครับผม
Sorry about complexity.
Yeah really sucked yeah definitely a South African problem not a North American
No longer North American is JT.
Yeah
I think unfortunately he wasn't the problem.
Nope.
That's the other sad part for him. He actually played pretty damn well.
And
what do we
expect
OG
to do today, Launders? Can they play well enough to really take a chunk out of the Titans that is Vitality, the team that finished 2023 at the very tippity top?
Well, if you want to talk about a chunk, we got to talk about Heavy God. You know what I'm saying? I think he'll be definitely taking a chunk here.
I mean,
he's been really good.
He has been 1 of 5. OG obviously currently at the moment, like Bubsky was talking about in this pregame, like you know they didn't fly through the RMR qualifiers. It's been a little shaky, it's been a little rocky, but I do think that obviously OG have been just sort of wading through the waters of this identity crisis. No Flamesy on OG any longer. He will have a chance to batter and bruise his previous team tonight.
มาทักก่อนไปนอนได้เลยฝันดีน้องมิมนะครับผม
In we go. With Vitality on the CT side of Mirage and OG poising themselves for the A site hit. We get a
แชมป์ A3 พอดีเอ้าตัดตัวแรกไม่ได้อุ้ย
beautiful from Messi
ไอ้ที่ตัวนี้เขายิงกันง่ายขนาดนี้เลยเหรอวะ
He gets 3 kills with that P2K in the pistol. Apex the Berettas to clean up, and that is the Mezzi that we got to see at World Finals. Because when Fall Finals Mezzi hit the stage,
oh my god, Messi,
he wasn't contributing quite like he did at World Finals. He was almost the first player to take a Vitality MVP out of the hands of Zywoo. That's where we ended last year. He kicks this one off clean. Look at this. 4 bullets out of the pistol, 3 frags to his name.
เอาจัดเลยวัยรุ่น
Just had a F1 pit stop for my headphones.
Yep.
So I think it's good now.
Got new tires, you're all good?
I think so.
Gassed up?
เอาจัด
Change that rear wing. Box.
โอ้โหต่างประเทศแม่ง
Switching immediately.
แม่งหมิ่น OG จะดะ 1.03 ครับที่ OG ชนะ
These weather conditions?
คือมีอย่างเดียวที่ OG ชนะคือเน็ตผมไม่ได้ดิไม่แข็งแรงนะเฮีย
I saw it.
Vitality เมาส์พังอะ
I was gonna talk, but
1.03 ขอบคุณน้ำโพดนะครับ75 เดือนนะครับและแชร์ซับบ้านม่วงไงขอบคุณนะครับ
Okay, let's play a game.
Legally อ่ะตัวตึงคู่นี้ที่ไหนดีครับ Vitality ครับผม
Throughout this best of 3. What are you expecting? With no disrespect, of course. What are you actually expecting from OG this evening?
I think they're gonna win on Vladdy's birthday.
For Vladdy.
Yeah, people are gonna ask why the pick'em show that we picked Vitality. But that's because you do the pick'ems for us.
อีเป็นสีหล่อจริง
I'll say officially
ตอ
right
นนี้
now
พี่
that OG will
อาทิตย์
win
หนึ่งนะเข้าฟิตเนส
because it's Vladdy's
ตอน
birthday.
นี้อย่างต่ำ
What do you
3-4 วัน
actually think?
แล้วเดินประมาณ40 นาทีซีรีส์ตอนหนึ่งตลอดตอนนี้
What do I actually think?
กลับมาดูแลร่างกายแบบจริงจังแล้วโอนาน่าดีกว่าเดคาตรงไหนครับไม่มีครับผม
What did he say?
He said God already last.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah. That's a sign of respect. He knows
Ui.
Heavy God's good.
Gun round. That was a gun round.
Jesus, okay.
They had rifles, they had grenades, and they got nothing to show it.
Yeah. Yeah,
น้องเนยสวัสดีครับผม
Vitality at the last couple events of the last year, the fall final, the world final, they started to like put FaZe down, you know, like it wasn't even like FaZe had a chance and that it was getting
น้องสุดโชคสวัสดีนะครับผมวันนี้ดูแข่งเคาน์เตอร์นะครับผม
Somehow Vitality could get even better than the first half of the year. I mean, maybe they're not better than the first half of the year. They won Paris, but there was no major in the second half of the year. The recovery, though, was actually a spectacle. It was the 8th wonder of the world what Vitality did.
ว่าอย่างนี้สงสัยจะได้ดูแอสซารีเฮ้ยว่ะแอสซารีแม่งน่าดูจัดเฮ้ยขอบคุณน้องบอลนะครับน้องบอล15 เดือนแล้วนะขอบคุณนะครับผม
Someone is the best or these players are going to be the best. It still feels like for the most part not much has changed for Vitality.
Quick and easy rebound in CS2. You know, they just let FaZe get off to a better start for the sake of excitement. But oh, how they have shaped the narrative. And one of the reasons has to be noted, Apex is having on an individual level an excellent 3 months. Posts, I believe, like a 1.1 at World Finals, 1.04 back at Fall Finals. You know, we talk about in-game leaders getting better in CS2. Those that take space. Oh.
เดี๋ยวดูพรุ่งนี้ไม่ได้ไปส่งลูกด้วยแต่ว่าไม่อยากทำร้ายเวลานอนตัวเองลุ้นให้คู่นี้จบ 2-0 ครับเดี๋ยวดูแอสซารีเหลือ2 คู่ครับผม
And Nexius has actually
บอกไปแล้วครับบอกว่าปีนี้ดูแข่งคือเขาถามว่ายังจะดูอยู่ไหมพี่ก็บอกว่าดูแต่ว่าสตรีม2 ที่นะเขาบอกโอเค
Yeah, his numbers have been pretty decent.
ไม่รู้ว่า YouTube จะมีคนดูหรือเปล่าเนี่ยเอ้ย35 คนเลยเหรอ
I think Mao's NXT have been something of a money trade.
ใครมีเพื่อนชวนเพื่อนมาดูคุณเยอะๆนะครับกดไลค์ YouTube ก็ได้นะใครดูทวิต
OG were like, all right, well, let's see if there's one more player.
พอคอนชุดนี้จะไปตบ Vitality ตื่นก่อนเพิ่งรวมทีมไม่ใช่ว่าเป็นไปไม่ได้นะเป็นไปได้นะแต่ไม่ใช่ตอนนี้เลย
didn't get the We Play Academy experience. They didn't get Cyclone and Shuhei molding them as JDC, Shane, Exertion, that lot did. You know, I feel like Jimpat really was kind of the last piece that went through that nurturing period in NXT. So
ไอ้พรุ่งนี้ก็มีแข่งวาโลนะพรุ่งนี้วาโลไทยมันแข่งกี่โมงอ่ะใครดูตารางให้หน่อยดิ
This is possible.
พรุ่งนี้น่าจะวอสปาร์ตี้แอฟริกาไอ้เหี้ยหลายจ็อบเลยเกินวะสตรีมให้ทุกที่เลยตอนนี้
and he's covered from Palace, but it's Zaiwu whose position is now known. Fiku, if he wins this, and we know Fiku can hit a headshot, well, we would have been on for something spectacular. He can still be proud. 2 frags and a bomb.
มาดูดิสวัสดีครับผม
Nothing to scoff at.
That was really nice. Yeah, good try, Fiku. He's still calling for OG, right? As long as nothing's changed in the last.
Don't know.
ก็สะดวกที่ไหนก็
But yeah, okay, he was at 1
ได้เลยนะครับผม
I'm going to assume nothing. If everything else is the same.
คืออาทิตย์นี้ลูกแอสตันไม่ต้องไปเรียนนะครับ
This break has been crazy. Talking to
ไปเรียนที่วันพฤหัส
following the
เดี๋ยวน่าจะพยายามมาวอชให้ คืนวันอาทิตย์ก็คือวันนี้คือวันจันทร์คือวันอังคารแน่ๆแหละ
A lot of them have been forming online.
คือมันพุธอาจจะไม่ได้ดึกมากนะครับครูอาจารย์ที่สอนไม่ว่างจะเสียได้นะที่ฟอร์คอนไม่ได้เป็นชุดดีมทีมที่เขาวางไว้
In 2024 and we get an ace in the first round of competition. Shout out Rez one time.
6 โมง 3 ทุ่มเหรอ
Shout out Zelsus.
ยังไม่รู้ตารางแข่งเลยไม่ได้ตามเลยครับผม
Shout out Honda.
แต่ว่าถ้าใครจะดูวาโลพวกนี้ก็อาฟิก้าก็ชื่อ Viperdemon เลยนะ
The Pistol Ace Gods.
I read on HLTV that this is Heavy God's tryout for Vitality.
Shouldn't be reading that website. There's lots of things you can do there, but reading, it's a dangerous game. Creeping up through connector. They've done a good job of keeping the pack tight. Zaiwu will shave off the front runner. Easy second kill for Zaiwu. Change of position. Little verticality goes a long way. Regali back to Cat. But the nade almost gets there.
3 health.
And as he falls himself into the cover of the corner of connector, it is time that ticks quick. And that's a bait from Tetris to keep Vitality and the winning ways rolling.
Just lovely.
ใช่เดี๋ยวเปิดกล้องตัวเองเดี๋ยวกล้องอีกตัวไปเสียบไลท์ทวิตไว้ทำแบบบัตร
I don't answer the questions I ask.
เทพเซสเก่าๆเหลือใครบ้างครับตอนนี้เหรอครับ
You still haven't answered.
I did.
ซิมเปิลนะซิมเปิลนี่ก็เก่านะ
It's two different things.
ซิมเปิลคาริแกนนะครับ
So I answered honestly. You have an answer because you asked the question.
We're at a crossroads.
It's up to the viewers to decide what to listen to and what to believe.
Viperdemon โมเนซี่ไม่เก่าแล้วโมเนซี่ใหม่แล้ว
Your own research. New coach here for OG. Vladi, everybody go on Twitter and wish her a happy birthday because it is Vladislav's birthday.
Imagine that. It's your birthday and you get told, hey, by the way, we need a coach.
นอกจากนิโกะมีใครครับที่ฟอลคอนอยากเซ็น
You are now Rugga without a
ซิม
beard.
เปิลไงโมเนซี่
By the way, you're
ซิมเปิล
playing
โมเนซี่
Vitality.
นิโกะ
Have fun.
ดีไว้
There's one thing I know about
ดีไว้
Vladi
กลับ
is that
มา
when things
พัง
go
งาด
well
แล้วครับ
for
ปีนี้
OG, she's the most hyped person in the room.
Yeah.
So
ปีนี้
I
แอ
would
ส
love
ลี
to see him win
น่า
a
ดู
few
มาก
rounds.
เป็นทีม
Get us
ที่น่า
that
จับตามอง
Vladi
ในทีม
land
แอส
pop
ลี
off. Very quick round.
เฮ้ย
this time.
เอ้า
Tempo.
โอ้โหเฟรมซี
Nasty up
เอาชิบ
connected.
หายแล้วเอเปก
And Flames
ต้องพิสูจน์ตัวเองเพื่อน
hits the ground with nothing to show for it. Apex
โอ้ย
sprays
โอเค
clean.
ซ่อมให้
Third, not
เอามา
his
ส
for
อง
the taking. Zywoo from
ถือ
Ticket
ว่าซ่อมให้
will
เฟรมซี
turn
ไป
the
จังหวะนี้
attention of Keto. And Fiku with a bit of cover along the wall just can't manage to bring anybody else with him. So the pace definitely catches them out, but Apex does enough to hold the line and give his teammates a comfortable amount of space.
But they're already thinking about the second half of the
มาครับ
round.
น้องดาริงตันแต่ว่าพี่ไป
Keto has the sight to himself.
รายการ
Lurk
มาเมื่อกี้
Smoke comes out. But Keto, he doesn't have much to lose, so he's going to take some kind of risk here. And, well, Zywoo's playing back off the cusp of his smoke. Saw a discussion about Plume versus Bloom recently on Twitter about smokes.
What about Anders?
It was it was Vu talking about
มันก็เหมือนแบบ
whether or not smokes should be named after the great
อารมณ์แบบ
Bloom.
เลี้ยวพูลจะเป็นเซนเอ็มบัปเป้ครับผมมันไม่ได้อยู่แล้ว
I mean, smokes plume, right? That's what we've always said. But smokes also bloom. But when actually thinking about bloom in FPS games, I think about how in Fortnite's not first-person shooter, but in Fortnite they say bloom.
น่าจะไม่ใช่แมปกันน่าจะเป็นแมปไวเทอร์ตี้อันนี้
When I hear bloom, I think of onions.
Onions.
Bloom and onions. Plume.
นี่มันหน้าใหม่3เลกาลี่เห็นบ้างแหละไอเนซิอัต
Bloom's got more.
เฮ
I
วี่
like
ก็อต
bloom.
ไม่เคยเห็นเลยวะ
But you're no mechanically.
They bloom. Big Pete.
พี่ว่าดาวแดง2
You
สูงครับ
guys
ผม
got to decide.
Flamesy gets away with one,
And he
but he's
don't la-
pressured by the Molotov. So luckily for him, Mezzi's got a piece of the action, a double off of Catwalk.
What the
It's a
fuck
gun round that finally looked to go the way of OG.
Holy shit
And they get shut down in an instant. 2 up between Regali and Heavy God, highest rated players for OG throughout their RMR qualifier run. Emphasis on the Heavy God. But
เฮียบ้าจัด
shut down this time around by Britain's best. Mezzi sitting pretty on the 3-piece. Regali's got 45 seconds to try and cook up something special.
เฮ้ยขอบคุณน้องอาร์ดามินนะครับ45เดือนนะครับผมสวัสดีด้วยครับผม
He's gonna need a
เฮียบ้า
cast
จัด
iron,
ช็อต
a
เมื่อ
gas
กี้
stove, and Ramsey's pedigree. Okay, to be able to make a dish out of this.
Bang
Dude, Apex is 14-3.
He's just walking through the front door right now. Nobody's home to stop.
ดีแล้วจบไวๆเดี๋ยวจะได้ดูไอซารีครับคือคู่
He's
ต่อ
been
ไป
in a
ถ้า
good
ไม่ใช่ไอซา
space
รีคงไม่
lately
คิดจะดู
in
แล้ว
the server, out of the server. Apex stocks at an all-time high.
เฮียเมซี่โหดสัตว์
Mezzi. Where's that third one? Oh, jump spot got him what he needed.
Mezzi hasn't lost an event yet, right?
No, sir.
So he's just
70นะ
given so much
ไม่มีใครเอากูลงเมซี่
get
เมซี่
comfortable
บอก
and
ตอน
get
นี้
better.
Yep.
Like we don't even know how much better he's going to get. We know how good he can be on Vitality though.
คน
His
รับ
first
เป็ด
event he wasn't that
ขาด
good. His
ทวิต
second event he was
ไปมี
really
ผล
good.
ทวิตสิ
Where's the
ขาดทวิต
ceiling?
มี
I
ผล
don't
มากไหม
think
ครับ
he's lost a match yet since Mezzi joined.
Whoa, I'll just double
May
check
ขาด
that
ครับ
real
ผม
quick.
That's
That'd
a
be
big claim.
insane. Yeah.
That's a big claim, but if I'm not mistaken, if my gray matter
ทวิต
serves
มั
me
นก็
right,
เก่งนะ แต่มันไม่ใช่แบบ impact ขนาดแบบว่า
We didn't talk about that.
ขาดไม่ได้
We're about
อะไร
to
นั้น
Yeah, no match. Oh yeah,
แล้ว
no
ซึ่ง
match. Well, they've
ซึ่ง
lost
คนที่
match,
มา
no
แทนทวิต
matches
เนี่ย
lost.
มันเหมือนเป็น
That is 8
เขาเรียกว่าถ่าย
series
เลือด
straight.
รุ่นใหม่มากกว่า
We were talking about some pretty good teams.
เก่งกว่าท
to
วิ
be
ตด้วย
honest, this would be
ตอน
the
เนี้ย
perfect event to eat your first loss because then you got it out of the way. There's no trophy here.
That attitude is why you're not playing on Vitality.
You got to lose eventually. Wouldn't it be better to happen at groups?
Sounding like a real Norman right now.
อุ้ย
Let's see what Larry's cooking. Mezzi 2 to the left.
เรียบร้อย
As can be. 8 in a row.
เยี่ยคินจัด
Vitality, yeah. I had made my top 20 list for this year.
หมายถึงคิว
and
ของ
for a while,
เมซิล
I had
เมื่อกี้ตอนนี้
Rops
90
over
แล้ว
Spinks,
90 แล้ว
and that was the big thing for me is
70
that
ไม่
I
ได้เล
ended
ย
up
นะ
putting Spinks over Rops. And the main reason was because at the World Final and the Fall Final, I thought that Spinks was directly better than Rops in those two tournaments.
Of course, yeah.
And
แต่
I
ว่า
think
คน
that
ที่มาแทน
actually
ทวิส
that's
ครับ
where it
ที่เป็น
flipped. Before that, I had Rops for
ไอ้
sure.
ฟอร์
Number
เซน
3.
อ่ะ
Yeah.
ย้ายมาคือ
I
ลั่น
just
กับท
think
วิส
that
อีก
when,
นะ
the games we watched, Spinks
คือ
was
ไลน์อัพใหม่ก็
that
เ
guy.
ฉยๆครับผม
You're absolutely right. I believe it was Hawka who tweeted out a great graphic in terms of like that rating head to
เลข
head
ไม่มีความหลัง
between
ไง
Spinks and
ลืมไป
Rops.
เลยเนี่ยถ้าเมื่อกี้ไม่พิมพ์
The
อะไร
evidence is
70นะ
damning.
I didn't actually see that. What was the?
It was just the Spinks'
year?
rating versus phase throughout the year and Rops' rating versus vitality
Oh, okay.
throughout the year. Very
Ui.
one-sided. Like the trade train that has been Vitality's defense. Zaiwu, if I'm not mistaken, was burned out there. But Fiku throws caution to the wind.
So slippery, that one. Can't
Oi.
find him. Can't find Flamesy
He lost.
either. Keto, you can smell him though. The milk was still sweating. It's just that. And now he's gone in the completely wrong direction. Bomb is unrecoverable. With that one kill, maybe he could walk into that 1v2, but I think this has slowly just turned into.
พูดได้กันแล้วคนละรุ่น
I'm not going to say safe because it doesn't seem like he's going to, but I was going to, I got to admit.
Keto doesn't know about that word.
เรียบร้อย
Keto believes. And so should Vitality. 9 rounds straight.
9 rounds straight.
Vladdy on the mic.
Vladdy on the mic. Let's go. Vladdy on the mic on the tack pause.
ซิมเปิลยังไม่กลับมาเลย
Oh no, what if Vladdy gets 13-0'd?
I want to hear her swearing at them. That's what I want to hear. I don't even want the motivational speech.
We know her as being so like bubbly
ไม่ใช่
and always
ซิ
in
ม
a
เปิล
good
มันทำ
mood.
มันทำอย่างนั้นน้อง
She
ง
gets
ง
on that tech pause.
Guys, it's literally my birthday.
What is happening?
She was
มันก็ยังอยู่นาวี
she was
แต่มัน
talking
ไม่แข่ง
about
ครับผม
taking it
มันบอก
easy
มันไม่
today,
อยากแข่งเซตสอง
watching her team play. Pretty excited to do that.
Yeah.
Hope
รุ่น
everything's
ใหญ่ปะ
cool with Rugga though. That's
ไม่อยาก
obviously
แข่งก็
course, yes.
ไม่เป็นไร
extenuating circumstances we don't know too much about.
He's a family man. Said he had to take care of the wife and kids today.
Yeah.
As a great man would. And in his case does. But yeah, I thought so. Fiku definitely heard Zaiwu get tagged by that Molotov on Van. Definitely heard it.
อันนั้นมันโดต้าของโคโลจี
You can see his confusion when he jumps out the window and gets shot in the back of the head. You're not the first, Fiku. Won't be the last. Again, we're going to get pace. OG got close to this bomb site once in a similar buy with a similar round.
เอาแล้วไง
And they've got Zaiwu dead. Off in hand for Fiku. Trying to catch the rotate as bomb is down. A curious
เป็ก
situation
ดี
here.
เป็ก
Spink starts to reclaim control as he does get picked by Regali.
Now the
op has
Oppers.
fallen into the hands of the right
Ui.
player, and Heavy God's Deagle out of ramp yet again. But Flames gets the back
เรา
turn.
จะเดียวรู้ตำแหน่ง
And we're going to have to lean on Heavy God. We wanted to see him put
วางเปิด
something forth tonight.
5 นัด
A
Heavy God
1v2 would look real good. Molly's over top. A little bit of damage. Can he
โอ้โห
find him in the smoke?
เรียบร้
No,
อยครับ
sir. Cover from Flamesy. 10
มี
for
สโมก Heavy
Vitality.
God เล่นยาก
Communication is just so sharp.
น้อง
All
ยื
the
นดูเลยค
nades
รับผม
come down at the right moment, no over peaking. They re-aggress and then re-aggress again inside of the window to flank Regali. Him getting the op was a chance
จ
for
ริง
OG
ๆ
to
มันไม่
win
ต้องรอ
that
ซีนาย
round, but
ว่างหรอกครับผม
Vitality's protocols did all the legwork
ต้อง
here.
ถามว่า
That's
ซีนาย
really
จ่าย
beautiful
ไหวหรือเปล่า
retake from them from the perspective of time and utility. We won't be jinxing anything
แต่
today.
งงซีนายแม่งไม่เอาชิโร่เฉยเลยเฮียหรือว่ามันวางแผนไว้วะที่ไม่เอาชิโร่เพราะวางไว้ซิมเปิลจะมาแทนเหรอวะ
Whoop. Keto on his own here under pressure from the utility and barely standing.
แม่งเล่น
Down he goes.
Oh man.
Zaiwu hits the dunk from downtown.
น้องฮัปเปอร์สวัสดีครับ
So I'm still back in spawn.
ไม่น่าได้นับดู
Which
ละ
means their mid player, well, I don't know who was supposed to go back and get that. but they're really pressing up against choke points right now. I think they're just more concerned about get this first kill and then organize. But they'll eventually need to go back and get that bomb. It's getting farther
พูดถึง
away
ไอ้จุด
from
ตรง
them.
เมื่อกี้นี่ถ้าวัดมุมทะลุนี่ได้เลยเนี่ยสไน
Apex. Clean one. Second player in middle has been found out, and Apex is barely alive. But with the wide swing, he gets over. Good chase from Fiku, but he can't find Apex. And as the Oppers duel down in mid, Apex is going to have a chance at something. Nearly set up from the cat flash, but still bomb in spawn. Mezzi continues to tear them up.
แม่งซ่อมให้ว่ะ
And as Regali swaps over to the AK, at least the frags are both here for the taking.
โอ้โห
That was
at the final line.
ยังไม่ให้นับหนึ่ง
right there. The kills were there. I mean, they gave him the respect of saying, okay, you probably have the bomb, but there was actually no way to go back and get it. So, well, small chance
เอาชิโร่ฟอร์มห่วย
for
เหรอ
OG, but right now we're looking at
กดออกเลยเหรอ
no. I've been finished my rewatch of The Sopranos, by the way.
Okay.
I've spent a year rewatching it.
Still good?
It's still a great show. But one of the funniest parts about it is every time, you know,
ผู้หญิง
every
คือ
time
ใคร
Anthony
อ่ะ
Jr.
อันนั้น
does
สิ
something
เหรอ
gets in
เมเน
trouble,
เจอร์เหรอ
it's always connected to somebody's like birthday or, you know, something like that. Oh, wait, hold on. We got one round left in the half, and it's starting off fast. Heavy God goes down. Zaiwu inside a ladder with a op by himself, and they're just walking out of smoke now.
Dude, Apex has barrel stuffed countless players in this first half. 16-5 and still going. Fiku slipped the net on catwalk. Clean headshot to Mezzi, but Zaiwu then trade.
โอ้โหไซวู
Deep on Nexia.
กูถามจริง
Yeah. Right up there alongside Apex. The Frenchman fragging at the start of 2024. Regali put down into a 1v4 to try and stop the painful reality that is indeed a 12-0 half.
Indeed.
I thought he was going to go around the corner
On
and die.
Vladdy's birthday. We can't let
เอา
that
สรุปวันนั้นครู
happen.
ฟอร์มไม่ดีหรอ
That it is.
OG better win this
ก็เห็น
pistol.
วันนั้นครูมัน
It's a lot of
ลั่นชิ
pressure
บ
to
หายเลย
bring
โบ
back
ต
this
ลอดเลยเหรอ
map. At least it's the opening game of the year. It's all uphill from here. Good luck.
Are you going to get better chances than this one to try and do anything later on? Probably not. Nico's deep on the site. Actually, again, probably should be dead already. He's going to get the one kill there. Good little double for Bieri, and might as well have been a triple there. And Bonacy is in a lot of trouble. He no-scopes one of them. He keeps going. 10 seconds. He fakes the bomb, spins around, takes down Woody, and now he's on the hunt, running up close and personal. Oh, what a flick! He doesn't have the time for the
Surely.
No, he
Just
can't
give
do
it
it,
to
I
him.
think. Oh!
Yes!
How is that possible? What an absolutely godlike sequence from Monacy. He doesn't have to move so much. Now, there is a Molotov on Turtle. He's going to throw it. It's not deep enough. Monacy still could have the shot. Oh, and there it is. One of the best clutches we've seen in a long, long time.
That is something special.
Flames and Dagster.
เฮ้ย
This bomb
ไอ้
down
เชี่ย
is
ใครอยู่
scary.
ในเหตุการณ์สด
Flames
เมื่อกี้
taking
บ้าง
real estate, but ends up getting punished. Liquid hold, and they win these fights. Just Dagster left to get past, but he's an iron wall at the back of the site. Moving around. Kill number 3. Oh! Dagster! Make some noise for him. That is incredible.
ไอ้อินฟอร์โนโมเนซี่มัน
But
ทำแบบ
Apex,
เมื่อกี้
as
กี่ที
quickly
แล้ววะ
as he peeks from hell, goes right down into the
เอ้
open floor
โม
of
เน
the
ซี่
B
มัน
site.
คัดแบบว่า
Here's this coming.
ไอ้อินฟอร์โนโคตรบ่อยอ่ะ
And raises
รอบที่
the
3 แล้วปะ
alarm.
แบบเมื่อ
But
กี้
they're going to double back so that they can
สไน
split
เปอร์
from
อินฟอร์โน
decon.
บอมบีอ่ะ
No rush.
3 รอบแล้ว
But
มั้ง
as that nade's being thrown,
แบบ
Zaiwu
เวอร์ๆเลย
missed
นะ
chance. Apex drawn out in with another kill. Zaiwu traded back. Cadian, the one-man army. 2 kills already to his name. 3 kills already claimed. And a 4th could be had. Oh my God! Cadian from start to finish with bomb. But here comes Dupree. Quietly creeping, lurking. And Cadian saw a sliver. Oh my God! Oh my God! 1v5! An absolute beast!
It feels like he gets clutch of the century every week.
อันนี้ก็เวอร์จัด
Lame F. Gotta be careful. Walks into the shot.
Farlig and Glaive to defend. Early damage. They still haven't seen the position of Glaive, and actually coming up the vents might prevent anything from working out. Config is not letting them have an escape route. It's just Brokey tucked into the vent behind the smoke.
Yeah, Brokey. He's wondering what's going on inside of the smoke. He's going to find one. Finds a second. Absolutely not. He's already done this so many times, and now he's looking for an ace clutch instead. It should be impossible. We said that many times already. Goes straight for the bomb plant. They open the door in front. Oh, gotta be careful. He gets one more. Surely not. On the other side, Glaive is ready and waiting. Brokey, he's toying with him. And oh my God, Brokey, you must be kidding me.
เฮียบ้าจัด
Well, it's a tough reality here for OG, but they are indeed down.
จริงๆถ้านาวีมันมองระยะยาวอ่ะไม่ต้องตัดสินใจแบบเปลี่ยนโลซิมเพิลเลยเพราะซิมเพิลมันอยากเล่นไรเฟิลหรอปะเพราะตอนนั้นแบบนาวีมันขาดคน
What's that called? Not the Macarena. What's the one where you go
the limbo.
The bar? The
น่าเก็บโมเนซี่
limbo,
ไว้
exactly. Limbo gets harder the lower you set the bar, but it's the opposite here in CS at the Blast Groups 2024 spring.
That's a fair.
พี่ว่าซิมเพิลมันเลยจุดเวอร์มาแล้วอะ
Map 1, Match 3, Day 1, Year 2024.
Let's kick it off.
มันจะมีปีหนึ่งที่ซิมเพิลแม่งทำแบบ
all that is in between OG
พวกช็อตเวอร์พวกแคสอะไรพวกนั้น
Oh no! On
ปีนั้นซิมเพิลแม่งเวอร์
guys.
But luckily Heavy God is
แม่
in
สวัสดี
the
ครับ
server
สิ่งครับ
and
มา
where
แล้ว
there's
ฮะ
a Heavy God there's a chance 3 kills
อุ้ย
just like that
มันสู้มือว่ะ
Sandwich he keeps the
มันสู้
hopes
มือว่ะ
alive.
เฮฟวี่ก็อด
But a 2v2 right back after and smoked off they could cross they don't know it and they won't
พอคอนไม่ไหวหรอก
they'll hold
ซิมเพิลอินเกมไม่ได้ครับผม
But you know the worst part about
บ้า
this
จะให้นักฆ่ามาเป็น
he's gonna start
อินเกม
creeping into the
เสีย
back
ของ
of
หมด
Fiku's mind he's gonna leave for the B site and this whole entire time Vitality is just gonna have sat in the corners
They're planting the seeds.
oh
Oh no!
oh
Wait.
oh
Oh, okay. They get one spotted. No bombs.
รู้หนึ่ง
Bomb spotted on the ramp actually. Oh, and second player
รู้ตำแหน่ง
inside
หมดละ
Palace.
รู้ตำแหน่งหมดละ
Info was known between both
ชิบหายแล้ว
parties.
มึง
who's swinging baby CS2 swing or be swung
Oh, they're so uncomfortable. CT's looking up.
อะไร
there
วะ
from triple.
swing
Deep
or be
for 45
swung
seconds,
เนี่ย
but
วะ
Biku wins his.
nice headshot and Spinks now has to recover just like that into the 1v1 oh just like that 13-0
On Vladdy's birthday.
on Vladdy's birthday 13-0 like it's nothing because Vitality were
ขอบคุณน้อง
indeed
พรัมนะครับ
the
พรัม
best team
MS
of
Build นะครับ10 เดือนนะครับ
2023
เป็นกำลังนะครับ
and
ผม
they start this one as hot as possible
I think Scorny said this a few times, so I'm just going to say it again. I mean, it can only get better for OG from here, right?
Yeah.
We tried to talk a story for OG before the game. Heavy got an interesting player. We also saw it in the pistol round, but it never even got close.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's tough for the mental part for OG. Obviously, they also lack their coach. I think that would be a part of why it goes so wrong. There's nobody to take that time out and be like, hey guys, calm down. Like, we need to take it one step at a time, and it just snowballs.
I think Vladdy will be pretty good at that. I've known her for a while, and I think she'll be good at getting the motivation up. But it is a tall ask because to go 13-0 on your map pick, on your first game here at Blast Premier Spring Groups, what? How do you even deal? And now you're going to go face Vitality on their map pick. It's impossible for them.
Yeah, and the seeding didn't really help them either. They're in a group with Vitality, which is the best team. Then they have the Astralis and Falcons potentially facing off after this game. So it's not really going to be an easy ride for these guys, so they need to find their way extremely quickly.
What did Vitality, I mean, I was going to say, what did Vitality do right? Everything. Okay, but I mean, from an OG standpoint, let's talk about that, because it felt like even when there was an opportunity for them to do something, they just didn't capitalize on it.
Yeah, we have a couple of rounds in the game, and I think there is actually potential in some of these rounds. I think 13-0, you think, okay, they didn't even get a kill, but it was actually interesting in some of the rounds, and I think I want to bring one up. They get a good default here. They get the 1-for-1 trade, and then we actually see OG in an interesting position. You would be like, okay, 4v4, the guy in short room is going to go for the trade here and get them in an advantage. But look at the individual quality from Messi. Like, he gets that kill, and it's just so demotivating for OG. Like, they're in good positions, and they still manage to lose the round.
หน้าใหม่
I don't
2
want
คน
to
อ่ะ
put
ไม่แปลก
more
ครับผม
salt in the wound for OG. So let's just have a general conversation specifically around the team that is Vitality and why they are the best in the world.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to look at Apex, right? He enjoys these types of games where there's only anything to win and the momentum just keeps going his way. He's such a unique character. He like laughs and screams, even though he's in front 10-0. I think the guys on OG side is also feeling that why is this guy screaming at me? Like he's obviously just winning so easily, but it's nice to see that he's continuing the trend from late 23.
I like that the positivity that you see from him, obviously it's in the server, but it's also on his face and that celebrations. And this, the thing is, he's going to get in your head when you're not doing that well, right?
Yeah, he's a 50-50 kind of guy, right? If things go wrong on his team, we've also seen him like sitting with his face in his hands and all these sorts of things. But when things goes the way of Apex, we see this guy, and he is the one who wins a lot of games.
How annoying is that when you're sitting on the other side?
I think you don't hear it too much. Obviously, it's a little bit worse in these arena events, but it's kind of more that you see the guys standing up when they start standing up. I remember so many games between Apex and KDM where they would constantly just stand up after each round. So I think it brings a lot of atmosphere to the viewer and us.
Pretty scary though if you're OG. A lot of those players knew Heavy God as well. I mean, this is his first sort of, I want to say like introduction to the big leagues. And then you got to deal not only with a bad scoreline, but you got to deal with that guy on the other side celebrating.
Yeah, I guess it reminds me a little bit of myself. Obviously, I didn't have that rough a start. I think I won my first game, but getting into a stage like this, it hurts your ego a little bit because you're used to playing against worse people, like tier 2, tier 3, and you're dominating those type of games, and then you actually get the feeling of what is it to play against the likes of Simple, Saiwu, and you just don't get that amount of space.
It's like a little bit of baptism by fire, right?
For sure.
And like we said, there is absolutely nothing more that can go wrong now. It's only up from here. We're going to be moving to map 2 right after this.
รู้สึกยังไงดราม่าวันนี้เอาจริงนะวันนี้พี่ไม่ได้เปิดโซเชียลเลยครับผมแล้วกำลังกลับบ้านมาจะรอคอนโทรลจีใช่ปะซึ่งคอนโทรลจีเวลาเราจะทำรายการมันก็จะมีบรีฟไว้แล้วซึ่งในบรีฟอ่ะมันเป็นบรีฟที่ก่อนมีดราม่าเกิดขึ้นนึกออกปะพี่ก็รันรายการไปสักพักอันนี้มันทีมที่มีดราม่านี่หว่าอะไรอย่างเงี้ยบอกไปย้อนกลับมาพูดใหม่ Power เล่นแล้วครับผมแต่คือ Power เนี่ยมันควรจะมี Dedicate Saver นะถ้าจะเล่นอ่ะมันไม่ควรให้คนใครคนหนึ่งคีย์เพราะว่าถ้าคนใดคนหนึ่งคีย์น่ะแล้วคนคีย์ไม่อยู่มันเล่นไม่ได้ตอนพี่เปิด X ก่อนมาผมดุ้งเลยพี่ก็ดุ้งเหมือนกันพอมีคนทักอ่ะปัจจุบันแรม16ไม่พอใช่ไม่พอแล้วครับผม32อัพครับผมซื้อมาเล่นคนเดียว500นี่ต้องเสียค่าเปิดเซิร์ฟถ้าเล่นคนเดียวไม่ต้องเปิดครับผมถ้าคิดจะเล่นคนเดียวไม่ต้องเปิด ลบ 7.5 ไหว แต่ไม่แน่นะ ทีมที่แบบแพ้มาแมตช์แรกเยอะๆบางทีมันชอบหลังชนฝามันไม่กดดันแล้วอ่ะมันชอบเล่นได้ดีกว่าแมตช์แรกเครื่องหน้า64หรอทำไม32ไม่พออ่ะ
Damn, that's the thing, right? London is calling. That's what's up for grabs right now. You want to win this group, you're going to guarantee your spot there. How sick is it going to be heading over to the UK?
It looks like Vitality is very close to already being there.
มันไม่มีคำว่าชัวร์อยู่แล้วโลกใบเนี้ยน้องปูอัด
secure that place in London really.
I think London's going to be epic. I think there's a lot of... I'm actually a British citizen. I only like to throw that out every so often when something good happens in the UK.
.exe ยังเอาลงยากเลยจังหวะเนี้ยดูเมซิลแม่งสะบัด
And I know that there's a lot of UK fans are going to
แบบคนใช้ exe พีคมากอะไรกดคลิกหัวขาดละ
I remember Blast was also in London for their first couple of events.
วันนี้น้องโพส่งการ์ดจอ 4090 มามือ2 69,000
Not been a lot of English culture in Counter-Strike. We've not seen that many teams, so I think it's interesting to try to build that up.
We're trying to be really nice because it's our first day on the job here together. So we're trying to talk about other things because we don't really want to talk about what just happened. Obviously, OG going down 13-0 on their map pick to Vitality. And now we move on to Inferno. What do you think about Vitality on Inferno?
I think it's going to be the Saibu show again. I think it's the easy one to say, but I think he's going to be obviously the rotation between the sides, and he's really the one who's going to dictate the pace of the game.
อย่างนี้ถ้าแบบพี่สตรีมพี่เปิดจอเปิดนู่นเปิดนี่มันก็ควร64ป่ะ
and he's going to play A at some rounds as well. I think it's going to be really hard for OG to build their defaults.
ใช่มือหนึ่งมัน 90,000 เลยไม่ใช่หรอ
we can't answer them because we don't really know this OG lineup all that well because I want to say like well how do they shut this down how is this going to happen but the truth is
ไปดูที่ร้านมา 90,000 กว่า
we don't have the demos to watch we don't have anything on their CV to potentially justify that they could make it an interesting game against Vitality. We have to hope for Heavy God. I think he had a nice pistol on the CT round, which was the most important thing that they couldn't.
โอ้ยนี่แม่งมาสแครหน้ากล้องไม่รู้เหรอว่ากล้องส่องอยู่ตรงนี้สแครซะมือหนึ่งมัน 90,000 แสนแล้ว
shot on the T side a little bit easier map for me personally to get the defaults rolling. You at least get the control if you use your util well. We are going to have to look at that.
It's going to be super interesting because obviously they're coming now as well. Not only do they have to fight it out in the server, there's a mental battle that's taking place. We can see them huddling, getting ready, but it is difficult. You mentioned overcoming this is going to be the real test for OG.
Yeah, obviously when you go out to take a break afterwards, it's not an easy conversation to have to be like that guy. Hey, let's just have fun. But it's not fun. You lost 13-0. You prepared many months or weeks for this particular tournament because it's important for OG, and they just got absolutely annihilated.
Do you think it's difficult when it's like a younger roster like this, where it starts becoming a little bit more of the blame game when you go for that break and less about trying to just move forward?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why the disadvantage is even there for them as well. There's no coach. Obviously, you talked about the manager being the coach, but she cannot help on the right rounds that went wrong. If Rugger was here, he was able to say, hey guys, round 8, it was just a small thing we had to change and we would have won. And it's a little bit easier to move on. But here they kind of have frustrations from the last game that potentially could walk into Inferno.
Obviously, to be clear, we have absolutely no idea what happened in the conversations outside. We weren't there. We're just spitballing. Yeah, we're just kind of talking because we didn't want to talk more about how they played. And this was something that we can talk about, though, is just the team spirit amongst Vitality.
But I like to see that from Vitality right here, that they're still doing the huddle, they're doing all the rituals, even though they just completely destroyed a lesser opponent. They're not slacking on the good things, and they have brought a lot of... Okay, I don't know what that dance was. They didn't have that last year, but maybe they practiced that.
Maybe they practiced it. I mean, they did say that they had some practice. They then had the HLTV Awards, and then they had a bit more practice. So obviously, Apex decided that dance was important to add to the mix.
He's a character. He for sure could make a dance and make it work.
They're feeling pretty confident. Job's done for them. Do you think that they're probably thinking
that?
I mean, psychologically, they are probably already at the hotel preparing for tomorrow. But obviously, they still need to win this second map if they want to make it easy for themselves. So let's have a look at it.
This group is pretty... I think it's pretty stacked when you've got Vitality, Astralis, and I do think that the Falcons lineup is super interesting. For Vitality, that's obviously going to be playing in the back of their mind.
จริงๆสมมุติถ้ามันไม่มีตลาด AI เนี่ย 4090 ควรจะราคาเท่าไหร่
storylines in this bracket. We have Vitality, Astralis, and Falcons. There's so many former teammates on each roster. I think Falcons against Astralis has been kind of unique because Magisk has always been the favorite talking about Vitality as well, has always been the favorite against Astralis because they've had like lackluster rosters. But now I would actually say the tables have kind of turned. It's a very 50-50 matchup, and it's going to be a very different dynamic.
It's an interesting group, but when I say interesting for OG, they may not think interesting, more like super tough.
No, they're not going to get that easy game. They are the easy game, right? And they realize that they're in a big pond with big fish, and they're the small one, and somehow have to survive this.
I've seen little fish survive before, and I've seen little fish cause some irritating bites on the bigger fish. So maybe what OG needed today was that horrible first map to wake them up. Like you said, there is potential here. There's firing power on the lineup.
It is a reality check, right? When you go into the game and you kind of expect, okay, it's Vitality, it's going to be hard, but you don't expect 13-0, right? So it's now or never, because tomorrow is probably going to be equally hard.
It actually is going to be tough when you think about it. OG is really just going to have to forge it together, come together. It's great for a new lineup. For Vitality, like you said, heading to the hotel as well. It is interesting for me though. Do you think that this helps starting out with an easy game as a player, or would you prefer to have a little bit of a tough matchup to get you into the swing of things?
I mean, if I'm the #1 team in the world, I've not tried it, so I don't really have the knowledge, but I would assume that you would like to have an easy game in the start, because then it kind of into the routine, the normal thing, and then we see. Yes, last year actually, Heroic playing against EG, and we were like, okay, Heroic potentially world's best team, and then they fumbled the bag. So I think it's great to see that Vitality are ready from the get-go.
It's so interesting. I don't play professionally. I'm definitely not good enough, but I would want to play a game to start. Just saying. I feel like it wakes you up, warms you up.
มึงไม่น่าเศร้านะตอนเนี้ย จุดที่อยู่ตอนเนี้ยที่มึง
a viewer's point of view, right? If you're the best team in the world, you just want to get as far into the tournament as quickly as possible.
It's fair enough. The pro player just put me in my place. It's fine. And you know who else put me in my place a little bit earlier on was Scrawny and Launders throwing South Africa under the bus. And I realized that the worst part about this is I can never respond because you've already forgotten what they said. So hopefully they'll be nice to me this time.
Yes, that's right, Sam. As casters, we do get to set the narrative. All right, you guys do your job, and then we'll throw in as much as we need to. At least you have a UFC champion. That's something going for South Africa.
True.
You know?
Yeah, you got that donated by Mr. Strickland.
Look at these odds here, Mohan. Our new betting sponsor, GG Bets, has put forth a 17.42 to 1.
Higher number better, maybe?
I don't think that's how that works.
ราคามันดีดมาประมาณ 2-3
and getting to work is what OG have to do here in the second half of the series, because Vitality have hit the ground running.
คือนึกออกปะ
off the back of
จะจัด
what
เซ
was
ตใหม่
domination
แต่
from
ถ้าจะเป็น
Apex, the start of the
ค่าย
CT
ฟ้า
side.
มันก็ต้องเขาบอก
I saw this tweet from Yanko. He
ค่าย
timed
เขียว
it. The
เพราะว่า
first
เรา
gun
สต
round
รีม
of
เป็น
OG on
AV1
Mirage, 15 seconds.
แต่ปัญหาคือการจอที่ใช้อยู่ตอนนี้มันแรงที่สุดในตลาด 7900 XTX ซึ่งเราใช้ของที่แรงที่สุดในตลาดอยู่แล้ว คือถ้าเราจะไปเปลี่ยนเป็นแบบ4070 Ti อ่ะมันดูขัดแย้งกันไปนึกออกปะแล้วคือถ้าอยากจะให้แบบมันอยู่ในสภาพเดียวกันอ่ะเปลี่ยนคอมอ่ะแล้วการ์ดจอ 4090 แม่งเสือกแพงเว้ยเอ้า
Gushed down mid. I like that they're confident. They're going for the gunfights. They kicked it off with a gush, and now they could be paying the price. Flames.
Yeah, Heavy God เดินแรงจัด
looking to get themselves up into the apartments as Regali and Nexius do maintain mid.
They had such good protocols to deal with this. They're late up alt, plus they have Hall's control, and the CTs they know have to reroute through the B side. So Regali's still here in mid. Oh, good cover. They take care of him. But now we're in a brand new situation. 2v2, A side is the tease, and the wrap takes place.
Mezzi's got that bomb tucked. Fiku kills Flamesy. No support here for the Brit. Nose one's coming in from Moto. Easy turnaround here for Mezzi. Can he nail it? A single bullet gets the job done. And full Fiku almost until Mezzi says enough's enough. Wow. And that is now 14.
คือถ้าจะสตรีม 1440 อ่ะพี่ต้องเปลี่ยนจอน้ำโพดต้องเปลี่ยนเป็นจอแบบFull HD ซึ่งจอ Full HD เนี่ย 24.5 ไม่มีต้องเป็น 27 คือคนที่สตรีม 1440 ส่วนมากจะเป็นจอ 27 ซึ่งจอ 27 เล่น Valo เนี่ยตาแตกเลยนะ
just in between the eyes. Poor Fiku.
พี่กินจุกดึกๆบ้างไหมครับกินครับผมกินนะพี่แก้โดยการ พี่ไม่ซื้อของ
I
กิ
saw
น
someone
มา
say
ติ
it
ดไว้
doesn't
ครับผ
hit
ม
the same
บางทีซื้อ
as
ของกินมาติด
CS:GO
ไว้
16-0.
เพื่อจะกินแบบ
Guess what? It's still
ตุนไว้
possible.
3-4 วันอะซื้อมาวันเดียวหมดตลอด
Can
เลย
they pull it off?
เซอร์ไพรส์
This could be a golden flashbang.
มี
from
เคาน์เตอร์แฟ
Keto.
ตอยู่1 คน ไม่ละ
Nope. He uses the roof to
Oh.
dodge the flash.
เชี่ยหลังคาบังแฟต
That little overhang completely denies the flashbang. Apex had vision the entire time, and they get
เปรี้ยว
torn
จัด
apart.
That's actually why they shouldn't do that anymore because that's now
That's
now
a
the
thing.
default. Yeah, I don't know who did it first, but it was so I'm honestly doing that in the G2 defaults. But
I can guarantee you
it's
that
so nice now.
I can guarantee you the map designer never thought that underhang would be used, and yet
You never know
ใส่
what
หู
people
วาง
are
เป้า
going
โห
to
ด
do
จัด
with your work.
exactly.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
สวัสดีพันนะครับผมเพิ่งย้อนหลังคอนเทนต์จีจบอ๋อ
Backside on
ต้น
B,
คลิปช็อกไหม
dodge flashes in the same way.
ตอนต้นคลิปอย่างฮาอย่างโป๊ะอะ3 ลูกลดไป
Loves the
4
nades. 15 rounds in a row. $26 is the limit.
เฮ้ยขอบคุณยูเอสด้วยนะครับผม50 ดวงรับโปรด thank you ครับขอบคุณครับโห
At least this first gun
ยูเอส
round
เลย
lasted more
ถ้า
than
พี่สวม
15
แล้วโหด
seconds.
ขนาดนั้นเนี่ยพี่ไม่มานั่งสตรีมตอนนี้แล้ว
Progress is progress.
ผมล่า PC รอปลายปีเลยพี่
Zywoo just looking
คือ
for that
ปลายปีของใหม่มันจะออกต้องรอปลายปีไหนลองบอกสเปคปลายปีดิ
small gap on the smoke. Was inviting him for a second.
อะไรพี่มีความคิดรอปลายปีเหมือนกันในลองแชร์
Very
Channel
low
it.
cover for Fiku as
Don't
well.
get-
He puts the next piece of util down. Zywoo turns his back. Great chance at a double kill for Keto, but he
Ui.
pulls away and he loses his sight anchor. His
Bị
nade
nam
could
mình.
end flames.
Yes. There's been some weird bounces on these nades right
Ow.
now. Oh, it's second
โอ้
oranges.
แม่งปลา
It's
ผิดเหลี่ยม
second
ไอ้เหี้ย
oranges on the
ไม่ปลา
plant.
ชิง
Very wise.
And Spinks on the lurk. Heavy God, alert. 10 health left for him, only 4 sitting on Keto. We've got Apex, 67 health, and Flames a little bit to work with.
Such a great molly timing. They can peek behind it.
They're going to try to press. 2 CTs line up, and Flames
Oi.
not able to get that third one, but it puts Apex in a great position to clutch. Little bits of health, all that Heavy God had left, and Apex laying it down. As that bomb ticks, he's got this in the bag. A 2v4 post
Oh,
plant.
that's so beautiful. I mean, they have the smoke timing. And the smoke's coming up. They throw the molly behind it. So unless the CTs have already passed, then there's no way that the CTs can do anything about it, and they peek behind it and take control together. That is some forward
4
thinking
คู่ครับ อันนี้คู่ที่
from
3
Vitality, and very nice execution to boot. So clean with it.
ที่ OG ก็ไม่ผิด
Second
นะเว้ย
oranges, dodges the frag grenade.
OG ก็ไม่
that
ผิด
too.
นะไอ้นะ
Flame sitting on
หรือว่ามันจะ
default,
ท
could've died to it.
ำไอ้นี่วะ 260 วะ
But alas, Vitality go 3-0 and pistols back in the hands of OG. When does the beating end?
At 16-0, by the way. So there it is.
Through the smoke goes the Mac 10. Fiku looking
Oh.
to get that Deagle back online. The numbers are here.
เอาแล้ว
CT's trying to get into that execute, but 2 already pulled off the play. And the AKs swarm in.
It's hard to even.
อยู่ที่ Heavy God จังหวะ
He's
นี้
looking to get cheeky over Coffin. He will still
เฮ้ยมี
get
ภาพ
a kill on
ภาพ
just the
หาย
vanilla pistol.
Heavy God มาพร้อมปืนมีเกาะสโม1 ลูก เม็ดเดียวไม่ให้อือเลยวะ
The harder they fall.
I thought I could create some energy for him.
Yeah,
right there.
yeah.
Heavy
I saw
go.
that. Heavy
พูด
go.
ต่อไปแอนซารีครับผม 2-0 แต่อาจจะแบบไม่ได้ขาดมาก
I think his rounds coming. Seen some great rounds. Israeli,
CPU
born in
เจน
Ukraine. I
ของปี
believe.
นั้น
Yeah, we were
ตัวท็อป
talking
ล
to
ดราคา
Vladi about
อ๋
him
อ
yesterday.
Yeah,
Born in
I
Ukraine,
noticed he
lives
had
in
a
Israel.
because his last name was like. So yeah, I didn't know a whole lot about him before he joined, but there's something about these Israeli talents. There's so many of them.
Maui Snake has been singing his praise.
Heavy gout. Oh yeah, shout out to Maui Snake for the great co-streams.
No second one from Nexius. Tries his damnedest to hang on to that. ZywOo's going hunting. 17 round wins in a
13-0 แมปแรกครับผม
from the number 1 ranked team
แมปนี้ถ้า13-0 อีกก็เท่ากับ26-0 ครับ ตอนนี้20-0 ละเอ้ย17-0
again not on top but this time
27-0 เลยนะเว้ยยังไม่ได้สักวินจาก Vitality เลยอ่ะ OG อ่ะ
Vitality are going to have some weight behind this commitment if they commit in despite the smoke they'll go Fiku again single kill and the frag of Keto doesn't catch the next two on the cross so bomb will get over can he stop it will he know
Regali one molly coming in late
Keto gets pegged by the smoke. There's no support here for Apex. His teammates, they heard him though. They regain vision just in time. However, Apex dying in the back of the bomb site could get this retake rolling. You've got ZywOo on 5 HP. Spinx sits on 50. And both the counter-terrorists in from Coffin smoking off the bomb. Molly spreads onto ZywOo. That's an easy kill for him. The first round of the series for OG, maybe. Spinx starts to peak. Diffuser down to the 2 seconds. They've done it. 17 round streak.
ถ้าเมื่อกี้ไอ้สฟิงค์มันแง้มไปอีกนึงทะลุ2เลยนะ
On Banana, that was beautiful connecting those two mollies. The first one I was like, oh no, they can just peek behind it. But the second coming in, netted them a kill and actually took some time off the clock. So well done. It's a first round one here for Vitality. 2 maps in.
You know what they say, man. First one's the hardest.
First one's the hardest. If you're going through hell, keep going.
Let's go! The first one, boys. Woo!
Ooh, is that ZywOo getting in a little? ZywOo getting in a little trash talk.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
And
โอ้โห
back to reality.
เหี้ยกลับสู่โลกแห่งความเป็นจริงว่ะ
What did he say?
He said, "Yeah, first one, boys. Woo!"
Oh, wow.
นี่แค่ไซบูตัวนี้มันก้าวร้าวเหรอวะ
You know, I think it's
โต
incredible
แล้วก้าวร้าวนั่นเนี่ยมึง
the
อ่ะ
face of any esport, which is at this point now unarguably ZywOo, has a bit of attitude. You know, you don't want him to be. I'm not asking for toxicity.
Yeah.
But
I talked about this with Thor a couple weeks ago, but it's like Simple and ZywOo wake up every day and they know they're mortal enemies. It's just that ZywOo won't acknowledge it publicly. But everybody knows. Obviously, you want to be better. You don't get to number 1 without that energy.
And it's
so if you don't show it, you're just hiding.
You're just hiding it.
Come on.
And he's done a good job of hiding it. You know, he wanted there to be an argument. Now it's but we saw it at the HLTV award show. We saw the character coming to the forefront.
ถือว่าทำดาเมจได้ดีอยู่จังหวะนี้ แต่ก็ไม่พอ 4-2 ต้องเซฟครับผมเฮ้ยขอบคุณน้องชูโชคนะครับชูโชคดีนะครับผม2 เดือนนะครับเวลคัมแบ็คนะครับผมโตแล้วเอ้ยพี่ก้าวร้าวตรงไหนยังไงวะ
But you know, to believe that he's not trying, come on, you got to be kidding yourself. Versus all these other people who wake up every day, they literally they shower in energy drinks. They play in dimly lit rooms 12, 13 hours a day. They sever the relationships with their family members and their friends in order to grind, face it, day in and day out. And ZywOo is the best of all of them, and you think he's not trying? Don't fall for that.
No. Can't fool me.
Think he doesn't care? Come on. That just means you got tricked twice.
You know, I'm going to say it, man. When he started CS2 a little slowly in the first 10 maps.
Yeah, but I didn't.
Okay. No, I mean, statistically, in the first 10 maps, he wasn't amazing.
I'm going to say, some of us really weren't worried because that was the anomaly.
Yeah, but statistically, it wasn't the hardest start. And then Maui Snake lit a fire under his ass. and now he's got attitude.
อุ้ยเก็บ
The
อยู่
impact don't stop. Golly, in the meanwhile, trying to be the counter offer, and instead his brain is splattered in apartments. Heavy God tries to slide into that gap and will deter Flamesy from following through. Flashbang set up, but he doesn't go for the swing. Just slides one step forward, and Spinks is going to catch him right then and there.
มันควรจะแบบ
Double man advantage as Vitality looks
มัน
to
ควรจะรอ
hard
พร้อม
reset
พีคเว้ย
OG.
ไม่ควรจะไปจ่อปุ๊บแล้วแฟดพีคเลยเว้ย อันนี้แม่งแบบ
They got Spinks right under their doormat right now. My God.
เล่นแบบว่า
And he is no longer
ไม่มั่นใจแล้วอะ
Here he is inside the
แบบ
halls.
สูญเสีย
Nexius
ความมั่นใจ
coming in on
จั
the
ด
flank. Spinks hasn't moved a muscle. And oh, this poor man.
5-7 gets that kill.
You know.
Ain't that crazy?
Oh
crazy?
no.
And MP9 gets that 100%. MP7, I don't know. How are you going to admit to that? I was supposed to be banter.
หนักจัด
Simple retired. You're the only one left here who can go to bat for the MP7.
No, we still have Nerds. Nerds,
okay.
we got JL and me.
Nerds, JL.
And Moses.
หนักจริง
Good ambassadors. Those are pretty good brand ambassadors.
Why didn't you say yeah when I said Moses?
What do you mean?
Moses also plays MP7.
That's cool.
I need you to recognize Moses' talents. Look at this. Oh. I mean, the 5-7 literally gets that kill in one bullet.
I know. That's the sad part.
But the A1S?
$500 pistols. One-shotting, by the way. Not okay. Never was.
CZ ain't walking through that door.
Set,
อุ้ยแรงเกิน
Deagle needs to be the cheapest gun.
ยิงหลังไม่ตายครับผม โดนสั่นมาสวน
Off the opening kills again. Apex has Fiku 5v3 with just some upgraded Desert Eagles, and as Keto throws out utility, peeking back around the coffins, he finds himself in a similar state. Despair. Oop, or not. Has the time come for Keto's Desert Eagle to turn?
Oh!
No. Never mind. I feel like poor Keto has got a giant magnet on his chest when it comes to frag grenades. We saw it top mid on Mirage. This time just hiding backside B. All he's asking for is a little map control. Hey, you guys mind if I sit in this dark corner?
พอเตอร์มันน่าจะปรับให้แบบไอ้เนเกฟพวกปืนเฮฟวี่แบบทะลุกำแพงหนาๆได้นะน่าจะมัน น่าจะแบบมีเมตาเพิ่มขึ้น อย่างเช่นแบบที่วางบอมบีตรงอินฟโนเนี่ย
Stuck inside of the church with nowhere to go. So let's see what they
กำแพ
can
งที่
take
แบบ
down with
เอเค
them.
ยิงทะลุไม่ได้
There it is.
Knock, knock.
Quick headshot to Mezzi. Who's up next? They both swing, and that is clean.
What the fuck?
That is clean indeed. Flamesy.
อินเซนจัด
With one burst, drops two, and Apex is having a field day.
What will it take to rock Vitality's structure that just this last year they got Flamesy in, and that was not even a guaranteed.
Like integration.
Exactly. Like replacing Dupree, you know, I think Zonic had brought up the age thing, which makes sense. Like, okay, Dupree's not getting worse right now, but he did play extremely well for about a 3-month period and had a couple years that were worse.
Yep.
Probably not going to play as long as Flamesy is. That's fair to say. Okay, but it's still not guaranteed that Flamesy is going to be comfortable in those big games really fast. But how quickly have we moved from Vitality integrating Flamesy no problem to Vitality integrating Flamesy and Mezzy no problem, having almost no weaknesses at all?
Yeah, I mean, Flamesy had a huge event
Yeah,
at Gamers 8 last year.
At the HLTV confirmed to work. HLTV Awards, Apex said that players like us don't get enough credit sometimes when he was. It's another IGL he was referencing.
He's talking about no, he was talking about oh my god,
Kerrigan.
No, brain fart. G2, Booksy.
Oh yeah, that's right. So, and it's true, right? You can almost never give an IGL enough credit because we all know how much they do.
แม่งซื้อ A เลยว่ะ
But you only really rate them based on the team's wins and losses.
Oh, come on, boys. One more for the road, perhaps? Yeah, Fiku extending around.
This is nice.
นับ2
The
ซื้อ
bomb
ถูก
down
บอม
in the bottom of T-spawn.
น้องนายสวัสดีครับ ต้องอารมณ์ดีแล้ว
I think
แม
it's
ตช์แรก
just
13-0
amazing what
ไม่เอา
Apex has done.
Leave it to Apex.
And he's also survived the coach change where a lot of people were preying on his downfall, saying, well, he got his ass carried to this point by Zonic.
This is winnable. This is a winnable round.
Wait, what?
มันเจ็บหมดแล้วนะ
Did they not see the bomb?
They never saw it. It sat bottom T-spawn.
Okay. And they're not worried about the B side at all.
ไม่ต้องเช็คแล้วเฮียรออะไร
Well, now they are. Ooh.
But when you're all coming in from the same direction, I mean, this has got spray down written all over it.
You can hear him. Charging
23 bullets in the magazine, takes into the corner. And I mean, they could tether nicely, but they come in at separate timings. And the third player's low health. Oh, God. 10 HP between the last two standing. Mr. Merryman almost clutched that.
Yeah, they were over on the A side playing with Mega Blocks. They thought the round was over.
Whew.
Mezzi was playing with Lego. They were playing with Mega Blocks. Okay.
ได้เสี่ยว
I was never allowed Lego growing up.
Because you kept eating them.
No, that's why I wasn't allowed Play-Doh. So, little brackets control starts the round off nicely for the M4s. Ooh, that is down to the wire. That sly wink from Flamesy. He's a troublemaker, and I know it.
Yeah, he is.
มันวางช้าเกินไปว่ะจริงๆแม่งถ้าแบบวางเลยมันมีเวลาตั้งตัวน่าจะได้ดีกว่านี้โพซิชั่นแม่งไม่ค่อยดี
Going back in for the bracket control. And not concerning themselves with short side where they had 2 CTs stacked up last round, so a little variation from both teams. And who comes out on top of this? Heavy God in the pit, Molly by his feet. Luckily the smoke is there ahead of time. Moto players won't see him moving. Backside player goes down empty-handed. Now suddenly, yeah, Heavy God has all the pressure on his shoulders. Kito's gonna come over to try to bail him out, but then Zywoo picks him off as he peeks out through library. Sight cleared. Fiku near, but not able to stop that bomb plant. Mezzi comfortably backside plants it.
Flames does everything.
They're already on for the save, huh?
Yeah. 2 most important kills right there. That slide out clear from Flamesy.
โดนรีเซ็ตกันต่อ
After refragging it.
แล้วโค้ช OG เป็นผู้หญิงพี่เบนรู้สึกดีไหมอุ้ยแน่นอนอยู่แล้วครับผมเป็นรู้สึกดีอยู่แล้วอันนี้แน่นอนอยู่แล้ว
Zywoo with an expected awesome start to the year.
แม่งได้วินมายากลำบากมากเสียง่ายจัด
Good. Because I remember last year when Evil Geniuses beat Heroic in their opening game.
Yeah.
When Heroic
I thought you were gonna do a Kassad tweak, right?
Oh no.
I was watching last year. You could say it actually. You could. Yeah. Fold it in.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I don't want to take any swings at Kassad. He completely missed the major.
That is tough. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We were watching.
Yeah. I'd say he's already bleeding.
So sorry, I kind of ruined your flow right there. You were talking about Heroic versus EG.
Yeah, you know, we started the year like Heroic, best team in the world. This is their year, and then they lose to EG, and there was that whole thing. And then, you know, it just amounted to nothing. So I looked at Vitality versus OG today as like that. You know, there's that just voice in the back of your head, that scarred tissue. That's like, oh, what if they start cold? What if all of a sudden the 2 LAN wins at the end of the year mean nothing because Vitality lose to OG? Their first loss with Mezzi.
But Outsiders were the best team in 2022, not Heroic.
That's true.
Yeah.
Team doesn't lose in Brazil. Mezzi just gonna drop the 1. Everybody else has gone towards the A site. Nexius and Heavy got a long short. Ooh, 3 players apartments. This is going to unravel your holds. Flamesy clears the truck. Nexius, but Heavy God gets spotted. He holds on to the boiler control. So they've lost sight and they've pushed it all down to Zywoo. This is what we're all waiting for. Zywoo 1v3 clutch attempt in a post plant.
You call it an attempt now.
What, are you going to call this a surefire thing?
เอเปกโชว์ของครับ
Dodge the bullets as he crosses over to pit. First
เฮ้ย
a miss, but he gets away.
โอ้
Shot off the mark. How uninspiring.
Calling it an attempt now as well.
Here we go. OG. 3 on the board.
Yeah. One last round to play in this half.
ชื่อเอเปกเลยจอนนี้
Yep. Any other analysis you'd like to offer? Yep.
I was thinking, I try to put myself in like a positive mental mindset, you know, to come up with something nice to say.
Yeah.
End on a high note for both teams.
It is Monday.
There's that TED talk of a guy who says absolutely nothing for 15 minutes just to show up. Like, doesn't matter what you say, it's how you say it.
Okay.
But I couldn't really channel that right now for OG. T-side's fun on Inferno, say that much.
There you go, silver linings. You're doing better than you did on Mirage. Axius playing counter flash. Again, this is the setup that held back the T's once. Ooh, but first player nothing. Boosted member. He'll shave off a single frag. Bomb is still sitting at the bottom of T ramp.
Yeah.
And the entirety of what's left of OG comes scrambling over to the A site as if it's a foregone conclusion.
It's kind of awkward for Mezzy. They're comfortable right now, but Mezzy doesn't know if they're going to push down for some time, and there could be someone who walks, and he needs to get the bomb. So they need to hold control of A site while he recollects it. 2 players spot. Now they can actually go B, and Flamesy's just doing everything all by himself, man. They don't even have to worry about this anymore.
เลขที่คุ้นเคย
They can come to A if they want to.
He's on for the ace.
บัตรโนเคิร์ด
Wow.
Looking for an ace in the 12th. Now Bomb's going to go down at B. If I'm Regali, I'm just trying to catch Flamesy before I leave because you could turn your back, but then he's a problem for the
อ๋อ
rest
เอ
of
เปก
this
บอก
round.
กูโดนสวมรอยนี่หว่า
There's nothing you can do about it.
แมปแรกเล่นดี
Flamesy's
เกินไป
out of
แม
there.
ป2ต้องแบบว่า
Bomb on the B site.
การละครนิด
Regali
นึง
45 health to try and get OG's.
เดี๋ยวก็หาว่าสวมรอย
Even the rounds that start to go south for Vitality, like, oh, Bomb's in a weird place. It's just been recovered, reclaimed, and held on to. Regali approaching loudly, shot in the side of the head. It is 9 to the T side of the #1 ranked team in the world. Clearly.
What map have all win ติด and be apartment มิลาสสตรีมอย่างนี้ดูแข่งภาพทวิสก็โอเคไหมเอ้าของนี้มันก็ต้องแล้วแต่คนดิครับผมอีคาราเดฟิลแล้วน้องอัดซิสแต่ว่าไงแหลมไหมเมาส์ไงพี่ก็ว่างั้นแหละครับผมเฮียใครจะมานั่งนับวะเอาไหมนี่ซีรีส์ดิสเพล3แล้วกันกลางๆอ๋อ1เองเหรอโอ้ยเราก็เก็บอาการหน่อยดิชงช่างเกินนับดิจอลิควิดเฮียมันลึกเกินไปว่ะคำถามพวกนี้ไม่ต้องแฟนพันธุ์แท้ว่ะ ไม่
Well, they got the 13-0 out of the way so that they could come back into map 2 with a bit of a better chance. Problem is, ZywOo's still nuts, and as is Flamesy. A near ace to close out the first half of the second map. It's looking like a quick day in the office for Vitality.
Yeah. Yeah, again, I'll say it. I think it was such sort of like Sonic's last gift to Vitality to like make that last.
เทรนไปยาวเลยครับ
Mezzy to come in as well, and just for both those things to work, just very promising to
โอ้ย
add
ดั
to
ทู
the
เขาเอาออก
longevity
ไป
of
แล้ว
a
ครับผ
team
ม
who were the best team in
น่าจะอีกนาน
2023
กว่าจะกลับ
with so
มาครับ
much more potentially to show.
เหมือน
So,
เกมมันเปิดมานานเกินไปแล้วครับ ที่จะเอาแมปมาเล่นตลอดอะครับ
we'll have to see if a team
ที่ว่าเขา
can
ทำถูก
show
แล้วอะที่แบบเอาพวกแบบแอนเชียน
a
พวก
long period of
อะไรพวกนี้
dominance
มาครับ
because FaZe got close to it, but I
เดี๋ยว
mean,
แล้วอีกที่ว่าเดี๋ยวมันก็กลับมาแหละ
it
พวก
was
เทรนดั
in
ทู
reality only 2 or
รอ
3
เวลา โอ้โห
Damage off the nade. ZywOo's
Ui.
Beretta Sing. 2 kills,
แต่ว่า
however,
เจ็บ
for OG
เจ็บหนึ่ง
means bomb plant there for the taking. What's the retake like? A flash on Mezzy? Kevlar on 2. No kits. And a deep position from
ถึง
not
เวลาแก้ตัว
1,
ครับ
but 2 of OG's remaining members. Nexius.
นี่เสีย
Ooh,
อุ้ย
still doesn't know.
ไอเฮฟวี่ก็อดเนี่ยปืนพกมะนาว
Spinks is coming in blind. Oh, no, never mind. Heavy God looking for the follow-up, but no
แต่
kills,
เอาไม่พอ
barring the first.
ไม่มี
Regali
โซนตอน
sits
เป็น
behind
ฝั่ง
New
รับ
Box with a
หลา
hope and a dream.
Legali
keeping this one alive.
ไม่มีคิม
A tap on bomb, and
Oh,
it is
the awareness.
nothing but headshots from the last 2 players of Vitality with a defuse on top. That's
มี
10.
มี
It's
พูด
good
สลีพูด
coverage. I
ต่อ
mean,
ไป
it's in the back of your mind.
น้อง
Someone
เค
could
ส
be
สวัสดี
close
ครับผ
right
ม
in that inside of
ต้องไปสมัครสมาชิกใน
inside
YouTube ด้วย
of
มั้ยอุ้ย
con,
อัน
and
นี้
then
แล้วแต่เลยครับ
of
ผม
course that
ถ้า
someone could be in quad, but it's one thing to
ถ้า
like clear everything else,
สมัครก็ยิน
keep
ดี
an
นะครับผม
inventory of those players, but then also hit the shots. And
แต่ว่า
that's
ส
when
ตรี
you
ม
got
2 ที่นะครับผม
Spinks. It's got such good awareness, such good aim as well. The full package.
Luckily, Nexius was already so close to death.
แต่ว่า
Little shoulder shot gets
ใคร
the
ที่ดู
job
ใน
done.
ทวิตอะไรเงี้ยแบบ
But yeah, OG gonna have to off the
ฝาก
bomb
กดไล
plant
ค์ใน
force
YouTube
buy.
คนละไลค์แล้วกันนะครับ ขอแรงคนละ1ไลค์
Galil's Mac 10.
บางทีเหมือนแบบเราไลค์ใน YouTube มันขึ้นมันเปิดการมองเห็นนะครับ
Looking like one of these games that never truly starts. Contrast
วิ
is the
โอ้
name of
พลา
the
ด
game
พลาด
here versus Vitality and its opponents. Okay.
แล้วไซวูไม่เช็คไง
Nice headshot from Fiku as
Good
well to
fly.
deny ZywOo the mid lurk. Bomb still
ไหว
T-Ram.
ดิเอาอะไรมันไม่ไหว
Things could still get weird.
โอ้ย
Is he a little off the mark with that one?
เน้นลูกนี้เก็บบอมก่อน
All right, so the force buy works out towards Bananas.
ฮะ
Vitality.
ออกมาถึงดาวแดง2033เหรอโหเงินฟรีครับผม
Because Spinks got a 4K in the second half
Yeah.
of Mirage, the 1 round half with 4
แต่
kills.
ละอันต่างกัน
You know
ยัง
what
ไง
his
ก็
rating
ไม่โดน
was?
โฆษณาเหมือนกันครับ
Sorry,
ทั้งสองที
say that again. You got 1 4K.
The second
no-
ใน YouTube มันจะเรียกว่า
Yes.
เมมเบอร์
1 round of Counter-Strike.
Okay, and you got a 4K. Okay. So that means that's a lot of RWS, right?
แต่ว่าใน
there.
YouTube พี่ยังไม่ได้
I would
ทำพวก
say
แบบ
his
ว่า
rating was 3.26.
ตาเมมเบอร์
His
ตา
rating on the CT side of Mirage
สติกเกอร์
was 6.6.
มีจบไปเดี๋ยวแถมอีกคู่ให้
It's not just high, it's evil.
You gotta dance with the devil.
It's demonically high. Okay. Spinks and Satanists both start with
คิดว่า
S.
That's true.
จ
Yes,
บที่ 13.5 ว่ะ
that's true.
จบที่ 13.5
That's the highest rating I think I have ever seen in a half.
อ๋อ
account.
You haven't watched
ไม่
me
มี
play.
เหมือนกัน
Nexius didn't get both, but luckily Keto's there for the trade frag. So OG got a little life left in them in this opening game here at Blast.
มัน ต้องถามแบบคนดู YouTube บ่อยๆว่าส่วนมากสตรีมเมอร์ใน YouTube เขาตั้งไว้3 อันมันทำอะไรพิเศษได้ปะยังไม่ค่อยได้แบบไปดูว่าแบบระบบมันมีอะไรบ้าง
The Falcons debut up next. Oh. A bountiful amount of grenades here for Vitality. Even if it is a weird force buyback, still 2 rifles on the board as well, so I think when they are winning a series this dominantly, can't put it past them to win a round like this.
No flashes, and they'll just swing out to try to scare him. Nexius doesn't hit a shot. He'll spot 2. Probably knows there's 3 in total. And
oh my god. เคลียร์เลยอย่างนี้
They kept his full attention.
The 1 M4 on the field is exactly where they need it. 2 kills, 3
อุ้ย
Spinks
สงสัยจะอยู่ที่4ว่ะ
and OG hit the ground.
เนี่ยวางเป้าแบบมืออาชีพ
Oh. 6.6.
แล้วมึงไม่กระโดดออกมาพร้อมกัน3 ตัววะ
I can't believe it. He 1 mags 4 players coming through that.
เฮ้ยขอบคุณน้องเคสนะครับเมมเบอร์นะครับ YouTube นะขอบคุณนะครับผมปานแดงใช่ไหม
Last bullet.
You gotta give it up to him.
I love Counter-Strike.
How to win back a few A1S
ไปครับผมขอบคุณนะครับ
like that.
A little tempo coming out of the T side back
ไม่เอาว่ะ
because you got nothing
เอ้า
to lose. So play like it.
เชี่ยไม่มีอะไรเลยวินนี้
3 frags.
เกี่ยวตัวแรกไม่อยู่
And Vitality gets
คิด
shut
โต
up.
บอกไม่ไหวแล้วเว้ย
Temporarily. Because to be honest, that round was going well for OG up until that
Now,
stakes
wow.
4K. Yeah.
So are you on the A1S or the A4 right now?
Right now I'm on the A1S.
Yeah.
Yep. But I have both equipped, of course.
Yeah.
As you should.
Yeah. I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're sort of unable to make up your mind.
Yeah.
If you're like flaky, sort of like lacking a little bit of self-confidence. You know, not sure of yourself.
It's getting oddly specific.
In life?
I think,
Don't know what you want? Commitment issues?
No,
Says a lot about you, Connor.
I kind of just like both of them.
You can't even pick a gun in a virtual game.
I think it's based on positioning. I like options.
Yeah, so you can get out.
OG got out. Got out top mid last round with no contest. Look at that. 3 frags, no answer. Vitality, what you doing? Playing with their food, perhaps. As they will come back into this one. ZywOo on a scout. I love a round where ZywOo plays like he's got nothing to lose. But he's already down 4v5 as Flames gets dropped towards top banana.
The same default here, and Nexius goes down 4-1. They could read this slightly. Let's see if the CTs slow down a bit. Looks like they're swapping positions out.
ยังเมซิลเหงาจัดจังหวะนี้
Bad timing on that.
In this reorganization of grenades, it comes down to Mezzi, the anchor for
ต้อง
Vitality
เกี่ยวออก2
inside
อ่ะ
of the pit.
เมซิลต้องเกี่ยวออก2อ่ะโอ้
Oh,
Gets away from him.
that was a yeah, a little bit of a new way to
อะไร
play.
วะ
And we know that people aren't playing
Saveเลย
Kit
แบบนี้
as much in
นับ 6
CS2 because normally the way you would smoke yourself out, it could just be blown open. So the cover's not nearly as strong as it used to be. Bike peaks are happening less, but doesn't mean you can't get creative with it. And
Do you think balcony not having a railing anymore also affects that?
oh yeah, it's huge. You mean is it good for the CTs, or do you mean does
Like,
it affect Big Pit in
Big
general?
Pit, playing Big Pit?
Yeah, I think the smoke is the biggest
ที่ว่าภาพมาแล้วว่ะ
reason why you would not play there as much anymore. Like it was so strong in CS:GO. Basically, it was just undeniably strong. If you have a smoke, there was no counter to it.
Yeah.
But
I think like this is a great example of that railing being gone. Look at Mezzi there, holding an angle, and a head just slowly walks into your screen.
Yeah.
If there's still a railing, that head jumps into your screen.
Yes.
And that player is inaccurate in doing so.
It's a good point.
You know, with no railing, they just slide right out.
That's a good point, yeah. It would have been nice to see what the transposition would be. If he got the kill, then what does he do for his next frag? Does he just stand up and then start spraying? Or does he move?
หลังจากเอเปกลื่นทีเดียวก็ตอนนี้เสียทรงเลย
With that one doesn't work out today,
กลายเป็นทีมเสียทรงไปเลย
decent angle.
Not today.
Not today.
Banana has been a point of contention as OG have got opening kills here more than once, more than twice.
เฟดครับผมเรียกว่าเฟด
all riled up. It's gotta be. Yeah, he does it again.
กำลังมาตัว
There
นี้
we go. 5v4 once more. As OG collect a head on Banana.
เพิ่งเปลี่ยนไลน์อัพมาเติมเต็มจัดพอเส้นไม่รู้ชื่อเหมือนกันนะ
the A-site response. Vitality leave the door open for OG and their 7th round win, but you'll be keeping M4s.
Oh, okay. So they're getting out red here. They're gambling on the attack. I mean, Mezzi's obviously useless. One pistol over on the A site. If that's clipped out of context, sounds very rude. But with the pistol in his hand, that's really no need to let him just die there.
Yeah, you know, Mezzi, really just a piece of garbage.
That was Connor who just said that right now. If you want to clip it.
It's corner?
It's corner. Oh, man. Did we tell anybody
We have not
this?
told that story publicly yet.
Okay, so basically for years,
ไอเด็กนี่มันล่าเลยว่ะ
and
พอวีเริ่มใกล้แล้วมันห้าวนี่หว่า
Yeah. And it's always been banter.
มันเริ่มห้าวอ่ะ
Morning they walk into the tent, one or the other go, wow, you look really ugly today, or say something just incredibly rude and disparaging. And at the world final, we realized that every time Connor would say hi, or Pimp would say hi to Connor, he would call him Corner. Hey, Corner. Hey, Corner. Obviously, because he's Danish, so it just sounds different when you say people's names in another accent.
It's not his fault.
Hey, Corner, for years he said that. And then at the world final, we saw Pimp
มือไม้สั่นแล้วจังหวะนี้
Connor's name on an official piece of paper for something very important. C-O-R-N-E-R.
He literally thought my name was the place that two walls meet. I've known this guy for 5 years, and he thought my name was Corner. And I thought he just had a stupid accent.
We thought he was just saying it in Danish.
Hey, Corner.
And we also thought he was just being an asshole.
Jacob.
Turns out he thought that Connor's name was actually Corner.
หายละ
You think you know a guy?
เก็บเหมือนกัน
เก็บเหมือนกัน I respect you, OG.
เฮ้ยขอบคุณน้องสเต็ปก๊อตนะครับผมตามส่งเลยนะครับต่อซับเลยครับจัดไปขอบคุณครับ
Barely. Flames lucky to have gotten out of there.
13ครับผม
The 5v4 back and forth on Banana finally favors Vitality. About damn time. But you've also just kind of poked the bee's hive, because now you've got an entire pack of OG players looking to pop out behind that flash. In the smoke, Heavy God gets stuck. Apex tries to fall away. Very quickly on the chase. 2 T's. Flash for the CT cross. They don't decide to push out off of the flashbang, instead just taking control of Church. And that's going to put them down in a comfortable 4v4. Flash comes out, Fiku dodges it.
Oh no, he's so low.
Doesn't get the kill on Fiku. Doesn't hit him once. Regali peeks off of the coffin for a quick trade frag back. Keto sitting on a quarter HP. Heavy Gods died from above, so it all comes down to the Banana anchor, and Saiwu finishes them off as Vitality secure that 12.
Yeah, Mezzi doesn't stop coming forward, making that promise look so good. Great kill from Flamesy, but I feel for Fiku, that was one bullet that he needed to get one more kill in construction and stop that whole retake from being possible, but not today, because Vitality not only better as a team, but they have better individuals, and that's why there is such a contrast between them and almost everybody else at the moment. They are the full package.
Easy going retake.
There were some good things to say about OG, especially in some of these late T rounds here on Inferno. But there was still a lead that they need to come back from. Not entirely sure if that's going to be possible. Vitality take their first timeout.
Oi. ถ้าไม่ใช่รายการเทียร์หนึ่งอ่ะมีเทียร์หนึ่งไม่บ่นหรอก
Might be an interesting math guy stat to see if the team who is winning the most takes the least timeouts. Is there a correlation there in history if there was a way to tabulate that?
It's a big ask. Nope. But again, they keep that pressure up. They pay the cost. That frag grenade does 85 damage. Good bang for your buck. Spinks slips into the close corner. And the T's fall back. A flash? Yeah, flash pop for Spinks. It does catch one blind, but he doesn't get the gunfight that he was hoping for. They weren't that close. And the instant that Spinks leaves, these T's slip forward.
Yeah, but they play 4A. They've got Flamesy just corner spotting. They're going to re-aggress again, it looks like. Deepened on the angle. Mezzy gets visual confirmation, and the trap activates.
Spinks gets his Zaiwu from in the sight. 2 frags to him.
เรียบร้อยครับผม GG ฮะ
Go. What do you know? After a 13-0, Vitality have to put back a little more fight.
เจ๊เครียดเลย
Such a damnation. This series was always going to be a massive ask of OG. Heavy Gods, Tier 1 land debut, Nexius's second, and a team that just can't piece together much versus the world's #1.
Thanks, Corner and Launders. Much better showing from OG on map number 2. Obviously, it's still not a victory, but they were rounds.
I mean, they can go into the second day now actually believing they have a chance against the likes of maybe Astralis or Falcons.
A nice birthday present for Vladdy as well. Obviously thrown into that coaching role, able to get the spirits back up. It was something we spoke about, and clearly she was able to do just that. They got those rounds. It looked good towards the end.
Yeah.
Did you see anything positive from OG that you'd want to point out?
Yeah, I mean, she has 0% win rate, right? So not the best statistics for her coach career, but I guess she'll get a better chance tomorrow, potentially. We know there's more easily teams for them to face off against. Falcons and Astralis is not up to the likes of Vitality yet.
So obviously OG going down, but feeling a little bit better as we went onto that second map. Vitality though, we can see them on your screens. They're happy, they're in good spirits, and it's like you said, now they get to rush home, they get to go back to the hotel, chill out a little bit, and prepare for tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, they had a great start. They had probably hoped to go 2-0 today to get that extra amount of time for tomorrow, and they get that easy and done, and now they go back to the hotel.
Let's take a look now at the group. Of course, this was a difficult group. Other than OG, there are 3 big names in the mix, and of course, the matchup coming up next, Astralis and Falcons. Those are 2 teams everyone's got their eyes on. Vitality will have their eyes on them as well.
Yeah, for Astralis and Falcons, there's no doubt that it's going to be a more interesting game than the first one. We have equal teams. We have so many storylines between former teammates, Magic Falcons, Sonic Falcons, all of a sudden against Astralis. We saw it before with Vitality, but it's going to be a new one.
You saw what just happened in this group. Vitality takes a convincing victory over OG. OG now needs to go back to the hotel and prepare themselves for whoever is going to lose the next matchup, which is of course the big one. It's Astralis up against Falcons right after this.
one of the advantages that we have is that we have super skilled lineup. Everyone on the day can outfrag and take the victory home. Everyone is striving to become the best version of ourselves. We have put together a really strong lineup and everyone really believes in the strengths we have in every individual. Everyone on the team is putting in the hours every day. You can look at everyone on our team and everyone can pop off. I think we can expect to go through this group, I would say. Everyone is hungry. And I also think the opponents don't have too much on us. OG hasn't looked that good. And Ferguson is a new team as well. Vitality is obviously a really strong team. I think we can beat them if we play really good. We have good chances if we play our best.
We are coming in as an unknown factor. The advantage that we would have coming into this group would obviously be that opponents cannot know our styles. There was a lot of focus on building the team chemistry. The mentality is good. I would also say we are realistic. I would say that we don't have any expectations coming in here. So this is
ทำไม
experimental
ค่าย
phase.
ม่ว
I
ง
would say
ช่วง
where
นี้
we
คน
have to
ย้าย
try
แพล
out
ตฟอร์ม
different
เยอะ
stuff.
จังคือ
If it works, it works. And if it doesn't, it doesn't.
มันไม่มีสัญญาแล้วครับทวิต
Part of the way I
เมื่อ
play
ก่อน
that I
เมื่อ
always
ก่อน
look
ส
at
ตรีมเมอร์
enemies
สตรีม
and
ใน
my
ทวิตเนี่ยมันจะมี
teammates
สัญญา มันจะ
will
มี
also do
รายได้
that.
จากมินิทบอสนะครับผม มันจะมี
Both Neil
ทีม
and
งาน
Danny
หลังบ้านท
obviously
วิต
have
ดู
some
แล
history
คนไทย
with
ซึ่ง
both
ตอนนี้เขาออก
Astralis
หม
and
ดแล้ว
Vitality, so
ครับมันไม่
I
มี
don't
แบ
know
บ
if it was random we were put in
ส
this
ตรีม
group.
เท่าไหร่ก็ได้เยอะอะไรเงี้ยคือ
I
ตอนนี้
think
สตรีมเท่าไหร่อ่ะ
obviously it's gonna be a fun match
ก็ไม่ได้
because of the history between them and
ส
those
ตรีมเมอร์
teams.
คือจะได้เงินจากการโดเนทบิตแล้วก็ซับสไครต์เท่านั้นเดี๋ยวนี้นี่แหละเป็นเหตุผลที่พี่คิดอยู่ว่า ปีนี้จะดูเคาน์เตอร์ต่อดีไหมเพราะเมื่อก่อนดูปีที่แล้วไม่ใช่ละถ้าถัดไป2 ปีก่อนเนี่ยที่ดูเคาน์เตอร์เพราะว่ามันได้มินิบอทเราดูเสร็จเราได้เก็บยอดได้ตังค์ใช่ปะซึ่งตอนนี้มันไม่มีละเลยแบบหลังๆสังเกตไม่ได้ดูเคาน์เตอร์เต็มแมตช์ดูเท่าที่ไหวเหนื่อยก็ไปพักอะไรเงี้ยอ๋อไม่ใช่พี่ดูโทรศัพท์อยู่อย่างเงี้ย
Yeah, I think they're slightly above Falcons who are also coming out at the boss, knowing that it's very easy to play against. For usually when we talk about matches against Sonic, they were very used to playing against Astralis, normally dominating them with the Vitality team. Now they are with different teammates.
ทุกคนตอนนี้ใครซื้อของอะไรครับใน Facebook อ่ะหรือว่าจองที่พักอ่ะตอนนี้มันระบาดมากเลยนะที่พักสมมติเราเสิร์ชซื้อที่พักไปใช่ปะมันก็ชื่อตรงกับที่เราเสิร์ชนะครับผมเสร็จแล้วทีเนี้ยมันเป็นเพจปลอมเวลาโอนอ่ะถ้าเป็นชื่อคนอ่ะไม่ใช่ชื่อบริษัทหรือที่พักอย่าโอนนะเราไปเช็คอีกทีแล้วก็ซื้อของด้วยเดี๋ยวนี้พวกร้านค้าซื้อของอ่ะเขาจะเปิดเป็นบัญชีเพจหรือบัญชีบริษัทใช่ปะถ้าเราโอนซื้ออะไรถ้าเป็นชื่อคนอ่ะหรือโอนจองที่พักเป็นชื่อคนอ่ะอย่าเพิ่งโอนนะให้ชัวร์นะผมคือตอนนี้ระบาดหนักมากคนในเฟซโดนเต็มเลยในเฟซพี่อะเราเพิ่งเห็นข่าวมันก็มีคนโดนอีกนะระบาดเต็มเลยสังเกตว่าตอนนี้เพจที่พักอะไรที่เขาจะมาบอกว่าเวลาโอนให้ดูชื่อบัญชีให้ตรงกับชื่อที่พัก Power โซคูใช่ Power นะคือตอนนี้ Power เนี่ยกำลังจะหันเปิดเซิร์ฟกันอยู่เดี๋ยวจะเล่น Power แล้ว
Yeah, I think that's for everyone and every Falcon fan out there. How good is Boris? We've seen events where he's performed to a level where we thought like, okay, he's the next big thing. But he reminds me so much of Im. In some way, Im had this major run. He absolutely destroyed everyone. Same thing with Boris. It was a pro league. It was not his debut lane, but it was one of the earlier one, and he really took it to the next level.
คือมันมีเพื่อนพี่ใน Facebook นะครับเขาไปจองที่พักใช่ปะไปจองที่พักเสร็จปั๊บเขาก็เอะใจเขาก็ไม่โอนไป10,000 กว่าบาทเขาก็ไปเช็คเพจปลอมแต่เขาจะไม่โอนนะเขาก็ไปหาที่พักหนึ่งกำลังจะโอนเหมือนกันเขาก็ดูชื่อไม่ตรงไอ้พวกนี้เขาจะบอกว่าโอพิเศษต้องโอนภายใน30 นาทีถ้ามันร้อนเร่งให้โอนอ่ะให้เอะใจไว้เลยว่าแม่งมีฉาชีพ
So they need to build upon that.
I do think this is something important to highlight because we talk a lot about all the perks that are coming with being on a Falcons team, right? It's the
ต้องเช็คการเปลี่ยนชื่อเพจด้วยเช็คชื่อบัญชีด้วยยิ่งถ้าเราซื้อขายอะไรเขาบอกว่า
It doesn't sound too bad, but
โปรโมชั่น
there is nothing in life is
คำว่าโปร
free.
โมชั่น
And
น่ะ
if it
โอน
sounds
ภายใน
too good to be
30
true,
นา
it
ที
probably
เนี่ย
is. They are
ไอ้เนี่ย
going to be expected to
ตัวแสบเลย
deliver results from the get-go. I don't think
ต้อง
there's
ระวังนะครับ
time
ผม
to
ต
settle
อน
in
นี้
with this team.
ระบาด
No,
แบบ
obviously,
ยิ่งกว่า
when you hear the
call
numbers,
center
as
อี
you
กตอนเนี้ย
see,
ที่มาแทน call
so
center
there
คือ
will
นี่
be
แหละ
difference in
หนัก
terms of
มาก
what is the expectations. Like the people behind this
ทุกรูป
organization
แบบของ
obviously
สมัย
expect
เนี่ย
the
อันต
best
ราย
of the best because they're also paying the best of the best. So where is this project going to go? I think a guy like Sonic behind me is going to have a lot to say in that matter.
I like the fact that Snappy's in there as IGL. I think that he's phenomenal. What he did with ENCE was incredible, and I do think that he has the potential to lead this team right up to the top. James is with him now, so let's find out how he's feeling about his new lineup.
Snappy at Blast. I never thought I would see it. You happy to be here?
Yeah, obviously, well, no comment as you said that way.
I had to try it with you, mate. Now, I want to look at this, though. Keeping the ENCE core, having Magis and Boris with you now. How does this compare with what we expect and how you used to play with ENCE and how much has changed with, obviously, a very short amount of time?
I mean, we only had 8 practice days so far, so I think it's a work in process, and we will see over the next 3 to 4 months how it will look. For now, we have different areas, me, Sonic,
จบแล้วครับผม
and also
2-0 ครับ
Lars, who we have different areas where we focus, so we split it a little bit for now, yeah. So, yeah.
And how aligned are you this early on with the philosophy and the way you guys want to play in terms of like your vision, Sonic's vision?
I mean, obviously we'll need more time, but I do think me and Sonic see eye to eye on most things. So we need more time for sure, but our goal is to be ready for the RMR, and then obviously we are playing to win here still.
And in terms of winning here, one player we're all looking at. We've got a hell of a lot of experience on your team, but then we look at Boros here, who's still kind of an unknown quantity. What were your initial impressions of him?
I mean, a very raw talent that we need to shape over the next period, and I think he has regained the passion that I think he might potentially have lost. So for now, it's just about us helping him and then him going all in, and I think so far he's done a great job.
That's actually interesting to hear because that's something you've done with a lot of players and bringing them up as well, so could be a perfect fit in that sense. For this matchup though, Astralis, what are your expectations going into this? Because there's a lot of hype around both teams at this point. The rosters are on their side, but you would say Astralis are favoured in this. How is it in your eyes?
I mean, it's true. They've been together for some months now, and obviously they have 4 top 20 players in the world, according to HLTV at least, so they should, by that metric, be the favorite, I suppose. We had a short time and we'll do our best. So, as I said, we're here to get ready for the RMR and hopefully qualify in the process. But the RMR is our main goal.
Snappy's playing it down, man. He's playing it down there.
Yeah, this is not the main goal, and
Astralis is the favorites. They watch Astralis. Don't look at it. Nah, I don't believe him.
No, I don't think so either. I think he expects to go into this matchup and win and potentially get that match against Vitality.
Can you win against Astralis? Like he mentioned there, they have these incredible players. This lineup is looking good. They were in the top 20. This is the Danish hope for that Copenhagen major.
Yeah, and I mean, I spoke to Device beforehand this tournament, and I think
ขอดูฟอร์มแอตตาลี
this
ยุ
is
คใหม่
the
หน่อย
most faith you've had in a
โคตร
roster
โคตร
since
น่าดู
that good old days, as we remember. And he says, yes, this is the most talented players I've been alongside. We see 4 players in top 50 on the roster. It's very rare that we see them. We have to go all the way back to their era to see a team like that.
It's great that we have those 4 players, but can they bring the results? Because that is what Astralis has been lacking.
Yeah, I mean, they've paid an enormous amount to get those players on the roster, and that also brings in some expectations. I don't think anyone in this room is happy if, as we see that there's no question about the quality that these two bring. But if they have to qualify, they also have to find the roles, and that is the question.
We'll talk about those roles in a bit. I want to talk about Device because he was, I mean, I remember just when Device was popping off in the golden years of Astralis, you know, he was everyone's hero. For him to come back and continue to just be able to perform the way he is, what a remarkable player.
He was also great last year. He just didn't get as many events. He would have placed higher on that ranking if he would have played more big events, but Astralis was simply too bad to qualify for some of them. I remember them missing out on the major. They didn't play Katowice, and it's so hard to go high on the rankings if you're not for the biggest events.
Does that change this year?
I don't hope so. I hope Device finds his way again. I think he deserves to be in the conversation of a top 10 player every single year, and I think this year he has even more opportunity to build upon.
Let's talk about the roles you were discussing there. Obviously, there are some players here that are going to have to figure that out in the server as to who plays where, and how do you think that is going to work?
We're going to very much look on the CT side. Blame F is obviously known for his kind of static positions on the CT side, and he played the same roles as Stavin on Heroic. Obviously, it also shows on the stats that they're very well performing, and that often comes with roles, but we're going to have to see one of them go out of their way and make space for the other one. I'm just going to be interested in, is it going to be blamF, or is it going to be Stavin who's going to play those star positions?
Who do you think it's going to be?
I think blamF is the bigger man. He don't take words from a little guy like Stavin.
Oh, really? Is that how it's going to go down?
No, I just think blamF is a little bit, I don't think he's that able to be adjustable to the circumstances, where I think Stavin has played in so many different teams, so many different roles, that I think he's a little bit easier to move around.
blamF actually caught up with Banks, so let's find out what he's thinking as we move into this matchup.
I wanted to start by looking at when Astralis came back to CS, because obviously you had to go through the RMRs and they are straight into this, so how's things been looking to start off the year?
I think it's been going pretty good. We had some practice finally, which we was very happy about, and we went through the RMR. Yeah, we won Copenhagen Gaming Week, even though it was a little bit of a fun tournament. So yeah, I think we're happy so far.
And in terms of being happy so far, I know with the previous Astralis, you always try and tell me there's no pressure, we're taking it in this way, this mindset you're having changed. But obviously looking at the caliber of players you have now and this kind of dream Danish lineup we have, are you having higher expectations?
Yeah, I think definitely have high expectations, and there's more pressure now. But I don't think the pressure is like right now at this moment. I think it's further down the line. Because yeah, I think a new team needs time to play together to get good results. But yeah, I think there will be some pressure eventually, but I don't feel it right now at least.
And in terms of that more time you're talking about, how prepared are you for this up-and-coming season? How good do you feel in terms of what practice you've been able to get in, how comfortable you are on the maps?
I feel pretty comfortable, I would say. So yeah, I think you'd always feel more comfortable, of course, but yeah, I'm just happy we have had a boot camp now together, and we have time to practice and talk about how we want to play and everything. So yeah, I think I feel pretty comfortable going into this tournament.
Good, you seem very relaxed throughout all of this as well. It's nice to see. But this game, I don't think it's going to be so relaxing. I want to touch on Falcons for you guys and see, obviously preparing for them, you know nothing going into it. But do you expect them to play like the old Ents in some ways? Do you expect them to default like that because they have the old core?
Yeah, I think they're definitely going to play kind of like how Snappy calls usually. I think that's normal, that the IGL dictates that a lot. But of course, he will also listen a lot to his players and try to adapt the system to his new players. And there's also new coach, Sonic, of course. So yeah, I don't think as you said, there's not much preparation for us in this match. But I think it's fine. We'll just play our own game then.
Like blamF mentions there, obviously, like Falcons, there's not a lot you can prep for them. You're not quite sure. We're presuming that we'll see a lot of that similar end style. But blamF, what do you think of him as an IGL?
I think it's been an interesting journey for him. I didn't expect him once he started his career that this guy would be an IGL, because he is a selfish player. I think it's seen by his stats the way he kind of hunts the ecos, but he can justify it because he's so good on the buy rounds as well. It's just, is he a real leader? That is up for the debate, really. He has a lot of good players around him, and it's really now time to show that.
But most of the players that play with him always say that he is a good leader. So that's the thing. I mean, a lot of them are pretty positive about his calling.
Exactly, and that's the outside. Like, you never get the insight from the information from the coach or the IGLs, but sometimes we hear these little interviews where they actually praise him. So from my point of view, I actually think he will have a very easy time with managing these players.
These particular players, obviously, so much drama with Heroic and them coming here. Was it the right move?
I mean, I'll try to be as not biased as possible. I'm obviously friends with the both of them, but I think it was a difficult transfer for them. I remember Stavin telling me that so many people was writing stuff to him that he actually had to delete Twitter off his phone because it was becoming too much. He's not really been used to being put in a position where everybody was looking at him in a negative light. So I think it's very interesting to see how he's going to handle it.
How do they handle it as players, though? Do you think that this particular Astralis lineup, you are pretty biased, so we'll deal with the fact that there's going to be some bias coming through, but for you, is this a #1 team in the future?
I think for now, I think the goal is at least to go for top 5, right? I think top 1 is too much to ask for a team like this, especially when Saibu is running on the server, but for now, I think top 5 is a very realistic goal for the likes of these players.
It's a realistic goal, but my guy, it's Astralis. Top 5 is not good enough.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing when you join Astralis, like the organization we spoke about, Falcons expecting things. The fans of Astralis very much expect things as well, because when they introduced in the scene in the start, they got this performance model and everybody thought, okay, they have the key to consistency and winning, but it's never been the same since, so hopefully this is their best bet.
We're taking a look at the players as we get ready to go into the matchup of the day, without a doubt. Astralis up against Falcons. blamF mentioned it's very difficult to prepare against Falcons. I wanted to talk to you about this, though, because we saw it in the veto. we were saying, are you going to expect the ENCE map picks to come out considering the core is there?
Yeah, and it very much did. We see the Vertigo coming back in, and we see the permaban Inferno. They're one of the few teams who bans Inferno, and I think Magisk is one of the best Inferno players in the world. We see him in Pit, very notorious for that position, but he's being left out of that map since Navi came in the door and said no more Inferno.
It feels like both these teams are with their picks are pretty much going for what they know they're strong on, right? They're going to be playing to their strengths. They're not too worried about what the opposition's doing.
Yeah, exactly. And there's not going to be a lot of information and anti-strat for the teams to look at. So it's very much going to be a game of skill and what do we prepare for the game and not really looking into the opponent so much.
I know we disagree here because I honestly think Falcons is flying out of the coop and is going to cause absolute damage. You, however, you believe that Astralis is taking this one?
It's a very close game. I would say 50-50, but I would have a slight favor in of Astralis because I've not seen anything from Falcons. Like, they could be playing lights out, and I would put them tomorrow maybe as 50-50 even against Vitality, but I don't expect that for now. I think they need some time, even though they have the core of ins, but I think Astralis have had enough time together that we should be able to expect them to make a good match.
Final thoughts.
Yeah.
Let's wrap this one up as we watch these teams for the first time here at the Blast Premier Spring Groups. Boros, is he good enough for this lineup?
For now, and what we've seen yet, no.
น้องแบมสวัสดีครับเนี่ยวันนี้วันแรกเนี่ย
tools and the facilitations to make it now. He has a great coach, one of the best IGLs.
เอ้ยดาวแดงยุคใหม่ไม่เจ๊งแน่นอน
There's no excuse for him not to build upon what he's already have.
Zonic doesn't normally have great success right out the gate with new rosters. Do you think that's going to be different?
I would like to disagree with the Vitality. It went pretty well after some time. Obviously, in the first couple of months,
it did a warm up. He likes to warm up, you know.
It did take a little bit of time with Astralis as well. So obviously, if we go by that logic, it would take a couple of months before we see the guy winning a more trophy.
It's going to be interesting. It is the game that we all want to watch. The super team that almost wasn't and now is Falcons going up against Astralis, arguably the strongest Danish team.
A funny story as well. I was holding New Year's Eve with Magisk, and I obviously talked to him beforehand, and he was like getting. I might end up playing with Longs, MHL. Not to disrespect those players, but he was promised so much more. Like he got the likes. Oh, I think Nico is maybe coming, and all these, and then all of a sudden you're maybe stuck. Okay, I have to play the open qualifiers. So it's kind of interesting to see, and I know he's super happy that Madden and Sunpeos came in the end.
I like how you quickly fixed that and was like, no, he's super happy. Because I was like, oh, you're going down a path here, Babsky, which we're going to be in trouble. I think we're all just really interested to see how this plays out. Lots of expectations on both of these teams. And we're going to make you wait just a little bit more. We're going to go to a break. And when we return, they will battle it out.
หฮอตล็อตคาวคิดถึงเลยฮอตล็อตคาว4 อันของพี่ขายไปแล้วขายไปตอนราคาถูกคู่นี้จบ 2-0 น้องเป้าสวัสดีครับ
Welcome back, everybody, to the Falcons Astralis matchup, the last match of our first day here at the Spring Groups. Falcons debut. Some call Falcons an upgraded Ents. That's what I heard out on the street.
He just said that to himself, like before we started the and I was like, is it really? And then we debated each player because we're like not sure. I mean, I don't think you can call it an upgraded Ents because you get the upgraded Magics, but you get the downgraded Boros.
Yep.
You can't say Boros is better than Nerds, but you can say Magic is better than Diha. Okay, and you can say yet, but is it an upgraded Ents because of that?
Not
Saul
yet.
is a great coach.
Saul was a great coach. Sonic's a great coach. Time will tell.
Time will tell.
That's the reality.
Maybe this works out great for Heroic and Ents.
Astralis the favorites, according to GG Bet, our new betting sponsor. And I think it's fair to make Astralis the favorites, even if we can talk about the yet-to-be potential of Falcons. Astralis have been together for quite some time, and I think Snappy in his pregame interview put it best. You are looking at a team with 4 players in the top 20 of 2023.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's a good rationale for why.
You don't sound convinced.
Yeah, I mean, they're just not playing to that level together, so it's weird. Like, let's say we played this year. Sure, everything's going to happen. Everyone's going to be insane. But I'd say that I think it's still true that even if I wouldn't agree with the math, I would say it's still true that Astralis are probably still the favorite.
ปอคอนมาแน่มาแข่งเฉย
Astralis would be surprised if they somehow lost this, though. I wouldn't say maybe that confident. So I think they have to let the CS speak for itself.
Shall we? Stare will open up on Snappy.
ซันประยุทธ์
I've seen enough. Call it quits. Sun Pius locking it down with them dual Berettas. Second headshot.
He's moving nice with those new specs.
Slides back into short control. I mean, he is single-handedly holding back all of Astralis until Stare will collect his second. And it's Madden flying over top of jump up. Magisk with a nice pair of Emerald Berettas as well. I see that we've gone to theme, gentlemen. And Jabby looking to swap out.
เฮียตึงจัด
A little ramp control, but a 3-player stack site. Everybody's here. Comes down to the headshots. We know Boros is looking for his.
เห็นหมดแล้วป่ะน่ะ
Nice to finally see Boros at a Tier 1 LAN circuit event. Of all the pieces that were taken off of this Falcons lineup, Boros is all that remains.
See the hairs on his head.
He could see him.
Can he get a better angle is the question. They know they're right there and waiting, so they know the re-aggression is going to take place, but can they do anything about it?
Magisk, 10 bullets between the guns. Madden loses the duel.
เรียบร้อย
Stare is nasty.
Boros
is in position, and time is of the essence. Blame F straight down beneath it. Another player over by the crane tries to go for the plant, can't stop it, and Astralis take first blood.
Damn well handled. That's so tough when you can't just launch someone from sandbags because it's a pistol round. You don't have enough utility, no rifles or
ไอ
anything.
ตัว
You just
ชื่ออะไรวะ
gotta stare at
ตัว
them
แรก
and
ที่
wait.
มัน
At least
ที่มัน
he
เก็บ
knew
2
that the attack was still going to come onto A. That's the best he could do for his team right there is let them know that. But they couldn't frag. They couldn't out-frag Astralis. That was a very nice round from Stare. I talked to Device and Stown the other day, yesterday for media, and just had a catch up about the year. And one thing that Device brought up specifically was that Stare has been the one who has just given up almost everything. You know, like Stare would probably be, he was and would be a star on a tier 2 team, right?
Okay, yep.
But on this team, he is literally set up to be their 5th best player. So there's no way for Stare to, like Snappy said, 4 top 20 players coming together. Whether it works out that way in the end is another thing. But Stare, he's got to give them their space, their roles, their CT side spots, their T side positions, and freedoms. And Device said he's been doing incredibly well despite having lost pretty much all of his freedoms.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it was a close call between keeping him or keeping Buzz. And a lot of people were calling for Stare's head when that decision was made. So,
โดนนะ
to thrive in all the junk spots. It's a big ask of the 5th piece of Astralis. You know, my concerns with Astralis were actually always going to boil down to Jabby. We saw how long it took for Jabby to get properly integrated into heroic system when he left Copenhagen Flames. And that slow burn was something that I was worried we were going to get with his inclusion on Astralis. And I would say we've also seen it here, right? He's not the hottest start. To be fair, Stown has also struggled out of the gate. But that's something that in Jabby's past has kind of been his burden. This would be a great event for them to kind of finally piece it together quick.
Yeah. I don't know. I always thought with the heroic situation, after some time passed and seeing him get better, I was like, that's really nice to not have a player honeymoon and then fall off and disappear. Instead, he sort of, it's always better to have a honeymoon, though.
Sure.
So, yeah, he had a bad Cologne 22 and then got better and better and better and then became the best player in the first half of 2023, at least rifling until Frozen, I guess. And I think that he has the excuse of saying, like, Heroic were a particularly hard team to integrate into.
Of course.
And I guess you would also say he's learned a lot now, Copenhagen Flames, to Heroic in terms of different ways of playing. Maybe that gives him a leg up in trying to integrate into the Astralis system, which is a lot more fundamentally normal than Heroic. I don't know how else to put it. I think there's nothing about Astralis' style right now where I'd say this is why they stand out from a lot of other teams. I think the main reason they stand out is because they have a lot of good players.
Yeah, big namesake.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see
ผี
what
เสื้อ
their personality is going to be as
Ruby
a roster.
Sapphire
Boros with the nade. Whole pack of players right there. But the grenades
ใช่
a little
Snappy ได้
off the mark.
เบดดิ้งเกมกับพวกเลยเหรอ
And so it's just the one.
เอา
Oh,
เรื่อง
what could have been. Had the makings of like a
ไอจี
150
แฟน
damage
เก่าเหรอ
frag. Snappy looking for the headshot. Oh, but they won't give it to him. Oh, until Blame does peek with the smoke.
Nice one.
And with damage on Stown, this one's getting a little dangerous. Snappy's going to press his luck, push through smoke, and doesn't get caught.
Yeah, that's a good
เฮีย
play.
มูฟเมนต์เอา
As
จัด
he wraps around short,
แล้ว
it's
Device
held by Device.
Okay.
Gets away from Snappy,
กด
though.
ไม่ลงครับ
MP9 here for Magisk. I think the contrast of somebody like Jabby, Magisk, proving he can integrate into all sorts of systems.
Yeah, man.
Played a key role in Vitality. And is a tough player to replace, but he'll find nothing in this one. It's conversion from Astralis.
ไม่ให้สู้ไม่ให้สวนสักนัดอ่ะ
Yeah, he was a Phillips head screwdriver this last year. Very useful. Not the sexiest tool that you can think of, but
บล็อกเลยน้องเนย
always needed. And I think
Don't block.
Magic had it definitely. He was, I think, probably the biggest discrepancy between my list and HL TVs in terms of where I had him up at 8th, I think, because of just how good he was on Vitality. But of course,
ที่ดีไว้มัน
since going to
หลุด
Falcon,
ไปไกลมากเลยว่ะ ดูจาก
Vitality
คอสแฮมมัน
continued to play well, and he didn't have much CS2 to look at. But for the most part, I mean, watching a lot
อ๋
of
อ
demos, people
ได้
are
เลย
still
ครับไม่
playing
เอา
CSGO. There's just more new nuances right now. So, apart from breaking open smokes, a lot of defaults look very similar.
Yep.
There's just an influx of new players and a lot of roster moves.
จริงครับผม
We still have yet to see, I think. Oh my god, like some of the major differences. They'll come later. In my opinion, it'll be like CSGO for the first year.
Okay.
Because like that'll work. You just be the best CSGO team
ที่
in
ดู
the
เป้า
first
ดีไว้
year,
ก็หมดศรัทธาแล้ววะ
and then the innovative teams that have good fundamentals who play it like a new game. Well, I think get a chance to get ahead.
There is a two-man hold here
เอา
ready
ผู้เล่น
for
นี่
this
แหละ
mid
แชมป์
walkout. So Astralis down to 3 members, make it 2, and suddenly they're done. Just
แล้วแต่เค
losing
รื่อง
duels on the walkout. Rock solid defense from Falcons once they have guns.
พูดได้แล้วพวกเป้าแบบไซวูเป้าอะไรพวกนี้ก็เป้าผู้เล่น แต่เนี้ยเป้าสเปค
There's a huge question mark around Boros. Obviously from the region of the organization, kind of propped up arguably for that reason. Did not have teammates to thrive around in the previous iterations. They make big moves. And I think it's actually amazing insight that Bubsky brings to the pregame desk saying like, you know, I was hanging out with Magisk in the offseason and he was like, bro, my teammates aren't Nico.
Yeah.
I was told maybe it was Nico.
Yeah, because that brings everyone else.
Yeah, of course. I mean, and we saw like Evil
แต่
Geniuses,
ปี
for
ปลาย
example,
ปี
when
ที่
they
แล้ว
were
ดูมัน
rumored
ก็
to
เห
be
มือนจะ
picking
กลับ
up
มาแล้ว
like
นะดีไว
Sorte
อ่ะ
and this international squad that just never came together.
That was probably for the best in the end.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Saved some careers right there.
Yeah.
I have more cannon fodder.
EG is just a North American problem.
Yeah.
We don't need to spread that to the rest of the world.
We don't need to be a contagion for the rest of the world.
It's nice we can talk about it openly now that they're gone.
Yeah, now that they're dead.
Yep.
So.
Gravestones never cost so much.
Yeah, it's a lot of land, a lot of plots that you need.
It's 1 year since that infamous day.
They could do one of those cool, like just, what are those called? Mausoleums? It's like an individual sort of bigger grave where you can actually walk in the door.
Like
and
a crypt.
A crypt, yeah, essentially, yeah. What's a mausoleum? Am I gonna look up the difference there? It's colloquial type thing.
Maybe a mausoleum's above ground and a crypt is beneath ground?
Ooh, that would be an interesting
I hope I'm right.
Yeah, I like that. A stately or impressive building housing a tomb or group of tombs. Okay, so no, it is also...
Oh, a tomb.
Okay, so a crypt would specifically be like underground pathways.
Okay, yeah.
Made of stone arches and have skeleton bones and skulls everywhere.
Ooh. Give me the heebie-jeebies, Launders.
Yeah. So, yeah. EG could fit in either one is what the point is. So what were we talking about?
Can't remember.
All right.
Oh, we were talking about Boros and, being the only piece left from, at least that's what I was talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Was Boros being the only piece left from what was Falcon's previous lineup, right? And I mean, like, let's just, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like, Boros has been given a team because of where he's from, right? This regional organization. And,
you mean, well, and also because they couldn't get Nico.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
It's, they bought him some pretty shiny teammates, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Now,
I mean, there's definitely something to be said about Boros, but there's just a lot to be, to prove, yeah. Because I don't remember, because he didn't have he had a really bad Paris major, right? That was the thing.
In the playoffs, he flopped.
Yeah.
Once he hit quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Up until quarterfinals, I'm pretty sure he was turning heads.
Right. So we're talking about Monty Boros, how good he was.
ขอบคุณน้องบินบับนะครับพี่สามเลยนะครับสวัสดีครับ
And then there's still just lots to prove essentially. But you got Snappy, you got Zonic. If there's a way to create the structure needed, that's the best you can have.
ถึงเวลาของแจ็บบี้สแตนแบกเมื่อก่อนแบกคนอื่นมาเยอะแล้ว
Zonic, who's got a commanding presence and all the experience. I mean, that's it. Like, if you're not listening to them.
So, at the European RMR for the Blast Paris Major, which
get your ears pinned. You know what I mean?
This is the first successful Boros major attended. The only major he's attended. Okay. 1.31 rating at the RMR to qualify. A 1.25 rating at the Challenger stage.
Oh yeah, still great. It was just playoffs, yeah.
And then a 1.15, which is still solid considering that particularly at that event, his playoffs kind of sucked.
Yeah, it was, 1.15 Legends.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and Legends, I don't know exactly who they played, but usually you're getting harder teams on average.
Legion, he played great against Na'Vi, one good map against Vitality.
Okay, yeah.
You know, it's big numbers, man. And he was working with Monty. He was working with Waro 2K. 12K?
Waro 12K.
Dime a dozen. Yeah, fire for Stair here. But he makes the most of it. That was a lot of pressure for him to try to entry through, and Snappy just gets chucked to the sideline. That could be a gun for Stown. You see all of Astralis magnetized towards this side of the map now off that kill. So yeah, safe to say, Stair's getting great impact in the opening bout of this series. Madden trying to take up the place. He's also burning. He's in a horrible spot. And the stream of gunfire as he peeks into it, the ops already posted device Sunpaya swings, and 5v2 looks good.
What the fuck?
Team Falcons were the ones to pick Vertigo. It was a great pick versus Astralis because Astralis are really bad at Vertigo, to put it frankly. Now I will say that they may have worked on it because their last match was at the RMR, I believe they won it, but it was versus like Terra or one of those teams. The real problem for them on this map that they needed to have fixed is their CT side. 27% win rate, I think, over the last 5 or 6 maps.
That sounds pretty horrible.
Yeah, going off a lot of memory here, but I'm pretty sure those are all 100% accurate stats. And if it's anywhere close to that, it would be a problem for Astralis. So CT side, that could be where the troubles begin.
Well, then feast while you can.
Exactly.
And they are.
Make hay while the sun shines.
สนุกแบบนี้วอริโก้สนุก
We're in Copenhagen in January, my friend. There is no sun.
You better have made some hay. You know, in those 2 months.
Better eat that hay, boy. That's what they say.
Yeah.
ยังไม่ไหววะ
The Astralis kit, I like it. The jersey, I think they kind of just changed the hue of the red and also made it a deeper blue. And I think both those changes actually look really good. I love their jersey. I won't lie. I think it's my favorite one ever.
My question is,
their Astralis jerseys.
My question is about the Falcons jersey because they put a star above the logo, but usually you're only allowed to put a star on your jersey once you've won a major.
I don't know who started that. I thought it was Astralis, and yeah, it's kind of weird to...
You put a star above it.
I remember in League of Legends there was an LCS team who won. It was Cloud9? I don't know who it was. No, it wouldn't have been them. I don't know, maybe. They put a star above their logo for winning LCS, which is like winning like DreamHack Masters Online North America or something like that.
Okay. What are you insinuating,
Which is
Waters?
Impressive, and I've never been able to do anything like that, but I don't know if it's worth a star.
But it's not a major.
Yeah.
We'll get down to the bottom of it. As the bottom of B belongs to Astralis. Pressure across the map, including ramp, where Stair has done his best work so far. And it is Snappy who is solo A, but understandably playing it a bit more timid. Top mid goes Falcons. How far, though? Madden contesting for ladder. If he can slip behind what is 5 players going A, this could be a huge chance for Madden.
He's licking his lips right now.
Just don't go B.
They just have to play passive.
Oh, his timing's fantastic here. This is going to be a huge moment for Madden. Great chance. He will cleanly kill Device. Doesn't know that there's nobody else behind him. This does push them outwards onto the bomb site, where Stair gets at least 1, but the damage has been immense so far. A costly approach to the bomb site, and it's not going to get any easier.
Uh-oh.
Stair doubles back. Lucky to get away with this plant.
Could go above.
Boros not going to stop him. Flashbang over top. Magisk just down beneath his teammate. Clears Stair off site. Jabby's trade frag back from short. It needs to be the 1v3. And it won't be. Falcons, first round, posted since the pistol.
Nice one, Sun Pius, right there with the 2 frags. Great round out of Madden, who's had a couple of awkward moments in this first half so far. And his flank basically got them the info they needed to play that situation out perfectly.
I thought he was really going to catch that pack of 3 players sitting right there, but still makes it worth it in the end. Teammates rotate over confidently, and everybody hits their shots.
ตรงที่วางครับเมื่อกี้
star though, like it's some kind of design choice
กระทบกล่องที่วางแล้วก็
that's like almost as big
ออก
as
ไป
like
ตรงที่วาง
Gambit
บ
star.
นหัว
Remember
คน
that
วาง
one?
Yeah, they were just a star.
Yeah.
Could be a good timing here for Astralis on B. Magisk softened up. 40 health gone in an instant, but no challenge behind it. And also no panic rotate either from Falcons. Boros just still sitting on construction. They're going to stick to the 3A for
อันนี้ก็ระเบิดสูตรลงแหล่ง
And that could be an excellent call out.
That half of the map is Ents.
Oh yeah, literally.
So at least they can be comfortable with that.
You can put some stock in it. Smoke blocks him off. They're going to puff their chest a bit, but Bomb did rotate back towards B, where Magisk is still softened up. Sitting behind quad. Boros comes over,
จังหวะ
gets
นี้มา
killed
ที่โชว์ครับ
instantly. Magisk
มาที่ได้ไป
clean second frag.
ได้แค่
Too much to ask of him to get the third. And remember, that's the bomb, but Madden just put his barrel to the back of stairs, somehow swapped spots with him. A site's cleared out, but Jabby's
20
locked
วิ
in.
เฮีย
And Sunpius knows that the bomb was here.
วิ่งไม่ทันวิ่งไม่ทัน
Doesn't really have time to get out of here.
Can't. Oh no,
But he
Sunpius
second guesses timing.
And now he gets cut off at the pass device. Oh, wait a second, 1-on-1.
7 seconds, Sunpius, hands busy on Jabby, goes wide, scoped in.
Oh!
Clean headshot from Jabby.
He was ready to shoot.
Damn.
Didn't even give him a chance to flick.
Second guessed the timing, gave up his green spot, but I think that actually helps him get the kill to device.
Yeah, it did. It seemed like the trick was on him, but nice swing out of Jabby right there. A lot of conviction and a quick shot. I think any bullet missed and Sunpius hits that flick. He's been hitting all the easy ones and the hard ones. Oh yeah, I mean,
very nice.
Perfect pre-aim.
ชี้เห็นเป้าดีไว้แล้วรับไม่ได้ว่ะ
The quick check to the left. Of course, a very good angle for the op to come on the right side. So I think Jabby had it almost figured out. Sunpius almost had the angle to kill him before he was done planning.
Rock solid multi-kill from Magisk last round. Losing your rotator in an instant like that, still taking 2 as they 3v1 you on quad with a molly on your feet.
Yep.
You know, those are the kind of anchor moments that we come to expect great things from Magisk. In that round, he delivers. Still lost
แข่งครับ
though.
ผมพี่ควิดมันเอาใครชื่อสกูมาคนบราซิล
Majors can't save you now.
อายุ 21 มาจากไหนวะ
Here we go. He'll have another chance at a multi-frag. Oh, but he Hey, and Madden trades it at the very least.
That
There's
was
something.
Just an accident. He fell.
No such thing as happy little accidents around here. Snappy last round got wall banged.
I'm telling you right now,
backside.
It's almost impossible for him to stop this.
Yeah, except he's going to peek out and catch 2 with their backs turned, including the bomb.
ก็ไม่ได้เก่งนะว่าทำไมถึงมาอยู่ลิควิดได้วะ
Play by play, not a prophet. Okay, you can only call it after it happens. All right.
Yeah,
so
fair enough.
Yeah.
I felt like
and
that
me,
was...
I get to wait till it happens, then explain.
I feel like you've got the better end of the deal.
ที่ใส่สีแย่จัดอะ
Do you have to do any trophy lifts?
No trophy lifts.
Oh,
I don't do ads either.
Yep, fair. Yep.
And I don't do birthdays.
คือยังไงเผลอ AW
So, don't even ask.
แข่งตัวนี้แข่งครับ
I'll give you credit though. You have been working on your introductions. Map 2 of the World Finals was excellent last year.
Thanks. Last month.
Yeah.
มันก็คงมีแบบไอ้นี่แหละ
You got nothing to be proud of in
เมนหนึ่งคนอยู่แล้ว
Get cooking.
That's why I keep grinding.
มีไว้
These wheels
27
don't
ปะ
stop
เดี๋ยวดูให้
turning. And Astralis churning through the A site again. No resistance really on that one. This has been economically a tough back and forth for Falcons to deal with.
28 แล้ววะอุ้ยคิดดีว่า28แล้ววะ
They're Falcons. Money's not supposed to be the problem.
How many times can we use that one? And they got Sunpius a new pair of specs. I think this is the first year I remember him wearing.
ไม่คือไปดูสถิติผู้เล่นใหม่ลิควิดคือแบบ
who wear glasses and
ไม่ไหว
players who don't.
ไม่ดีเลยอะ
See, the thing is, if I have like the slightest stigmatism, if I wear glasses when I play CS, it just looks so crispy.
Yeah.
Even though it's like really close.
But then you look in the mirror and you're like, it ain't worth it.
It's not that. It's just I don't really like. I'm so used to not having to put on glasses all the time.
Yeah.
Whereas everyone I know who has glasses loves them. Like you love your glasses. I know Dark Mike loves his glasses. Like you guys have talked about
2 cool dudes right there, I tell you.
Unironically. But you guys have talked about not being uncomfortable not putting on your glasses every day because it's such a routine, right? Such a thing you're used to.
First thing I reach for when I get out of bed.
But to be honest, like when I play CS, my glasses on.
ตอนนี้ครับน้องเนย
-5 fix just looks so good. I see the game in
it's
HD.
Crisp, baby.
When I play CS, I don't see it in HD ever. So that's one for glasses, gang.
And there's some things like I take my glasses off so that I don't see as clearly. occasionally.
For what?
วิจำไม่ได้เหมือน
Want
กั
to
น
go to your mom's house?
ไปดูให้
Okay.
Got him, dude.
Wow.
Oh.
Okay.
This is my year.
What the hell?
This is my year.
We got to put him back on if you want to see this ratio.
Yeah, okay. Twitter can't save you here.
ทำไมชื่อเกมไม่
Tech
ขึ้นวะ
timeout off of the tech pause. Zonic
You
wants
in ครับผม
in on the
in มีใคร
action.
บ้างวะตอนนี้
Zonic and Snappy is actually a duo that I'm so excited to watch grow. I
Yeah.
think, you know, obviously not to take anything away from Saw, great coach, every team,
I
every
can't
player
remember
underneath him.
what
He's still got a
Zonic
job,
in
so.
Japan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like, you know, Zonic is greatest coach of all time.
ว่าจะเปิดบอร์ดครับผม
So,
24
I
เนี่ย
said it with like a whisper, so not too
น้องแทนสวัสดีครับ
to
ผม
see Snappy with him now is it's
เกม
like,
มันน่าส
okay,
งสารจัดอะแม่งหลุดวงโคจรไปไกลจัดอะ
what are y'all gonna cook up?
Yeah, I kind of asked him. I also talked to them media day, and I was kind of like, what's it like? I mean, you spent your playing career 1.6, played coach entirety of CS:GO. Now, if you're coaching the first game, you haven't really like played as much. And he definitely said he was definitely watching a lot more than playing. But at the same time, again, like people are still playing CS:GO for the most part. So
เอ็นชุดใหม่ไม่ไหวอะ
Oh, nades out, careful now. Blame F's coming for you. But he fears that re-aggression out of the defense, so
เฮ้ย
stepping back
เพจ
down
TP
the ramp
25
with
ครับ
his
ผม
teammate. That's 3 members of Falcons again occupied over there. They put Device on the mid boost. Jabby looking for a headshot. He is playing excellently this evening. Him and Stare at the top of the charts for the Danes. Met by smoke, however, and they just gave Magisk another one, so the mid players fall back.
เฮ้ย เอ้า
Ooh, Magisk gets the headshot through the top of the smoke as the
เหี้ยมัน
execute comes over
อะไร
the
วะ
top, and the mid players look to come and join
ส
them.
เปรย์ข้างล่างไป
but
โดน
no
ข้างบน แล้วแม่ง
reroute.
เดินโยกๆไปโดนตัวข้าง
Snappy
บน
on high alert because of the shadow. Super hard to cross that bridge if somebody's
อ่า
down
ไปแล้ว
there.
ครับผม
But
Snappy
Snappy can just fall back, guaranteeing more time gets shaved off the clock. Wide
เรียบร้อย
swing, punished, popped, and Blame F
คือ Snappy มันจะรอดอยู่แล้วเมื่อกี้
to just
แม่ง
run
เสือก
this
ถอย
one
ไม่สุด
up. But now
หิวไง
Madden's in the pocket.
อะดรีนาลีนมันหลั่งอยู่ต่อเลยได้ไหม
Third player in, Jabby loses it. And with it sitting at the feet of Madden, now this one seems like a surefire round win for the defense. They can't get past it, or
they
can they?
10 seconds.
5 seconds to spare. They're going to have to run that one over. Blame F, gun up, hands ready. And the bomb goes down. The shot's a miss. Device on the AK gets one right back. Matches in the open. Slaughtered as Device with 11
แชมป์ยังอยู่วะเนี่ย
clutches for Astralis.
ไหนบอกดีไว้ไม่ไหวไง
Possible complete. That was a beautiful last kill on such low HP. And
How did they get that back?
I mean, it was a quick kill, and they used every second perfectly. Device even got his flash off and allowed himself to cross.
DY is back.
1 second of plants. I mean, the only thing that really went wrong was Blame F not getting this like last kill, but then the heroic clutch. Oh my god. Clinic. And definitely some frustration. So they let that go. That's a really nice round to see for Astralis, because when we were casting them at Bet Boom, it was sort of like tragedies, you know, not heroics.
ผมแม่งปาเนตปอนไฟกะตายเลยนะ
That was a good show of how strong they can be. Though it was with the 2 players from their previous lineup that were their best, obviously.
น้องบ้าสวัสดีครับ
So we'll see. But
ไหนมาครับผม
7-2 here on T side. They look good.
Two tucked in on construction. It's down. Not going to waste any time. Boros has more or less been a non-factor in this one so far. 3 and 6. Snappy close, but no cigar. And that A defense, non-existent. Jabby continues to tear him up. And Astralis looking for that comfortable 8-2 T-side lead. But again, you brought it up. Should bring it up again as we get towards the tail end of this. It's the CT side of Vertigo that we need to expect
อ๋อทำอะไรมาทำงานเหรอ
troubles for Astralis.
Yeah. Something like 27% win rate in the last 5 maps or so. But yeah, they're coming off a win, and they also had a very long boot camp. So those 2 factors could mean that they worked on
what is their floor essentially, which is
เชี่ย
vertical.
มือสังหารเด็กๆแม่งยิงกันยับเลยว่ะแอตลิสบายแล้วมึงเบรมเมฟกับดีไว้มีน้องๆช่วยแบก
Of course, at that boot camp, they were also still playing for their
น้
major
อง
or the
P10
Armor
นะครับ
Close
สวัสดีครับผม
qualifier. Relatively clean. Relatively. They lost that best of 3 series versus Amcal.
Yeah.
When I say Amcal, most people probably don't know what that team is. New sponsor for the Forrester Crad Nickelback core.
Entropic boys.
But again, you know, clean wins over Para, Preezy, X Thunder Flash. So the writing was on the wall. Good things to come for Astralis, it seems. LAN bodes better.
Yeah, also to see if how many they've actually played with this lineup. I don't know if it would have. Shouldn't count it if they didn't have all that 3 players at least, right? Let's see.
Very active play here from Boros. This could be his round. This could be his moment. 4 players walking into B, and he is hot on their heels. Device didn't turn. He's going to hear this commitment go in. Decides to take his shot. Double kill.
Ow.
Triple from Boros. There we go. Because he didn't play afraid. Found that timing on the ladder flank. And wreaks havoc on Astralis' backline. Jabby will not escape either. 4 frags to Boros' name. A round to be proud of. 11 deep.
Wow. Okay, Boros. He's still not done yet. 50 seconds. They got to set him up for this, right? This would be a headline right here. Boros, ace, first map, official with Falcons. Snappy goes down.
ต้องตัดให้เยอะที่สุดครับ
Boros
ถึ
is
งจะไม่ได้วิน
now
ทำลายการเงิน
maybe going to be his next opponent. We'll see. He's flanking the A ramp. Stare still fixated on the round win. Is it possible?
Sunpius on this angle should have it in the bag, but a missed shot.
It's such a tight
ปล่อย
angle.
แบบไม่เต็มใจครับผม
Coming too late to get this bomb back.
มันเหลี่ยม
Tim's toast.
Boros is now like going towards the ladder. He wants to get this. And it looked like he should have just continued. Okay.
I like it. An active CT play from Boros sets him up for, at the very least, the third. And every time there's the smallest piece of success, we're hearing Zonic pop off.
Mm-hmm. That was a great round.
And it's as Jabby gets the entry.
แล้วแจ็บบี้แม่ง
That's
เปิ
the
ดได้
thing,
ด้วย
right? Everything was going well there.
คือจริงๆแม่งเป็นวินของสลีแล้วอะตัวเปิดได้แล้วอะ
Okay.
Give me that arm.
That's some real. You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball type energy. The fist bump, you don't know. The handshake, what's coming in, Boros? You got to be ready, son.
เฮ้ย
Give me them fingers. I'm hungry. Good on Boros. I believe it was Zonic who said, interview a couple days ago, that like Boros was lacking a certain level of professionalism in his career, and that's.
What was the context there? I didn't see that. So what was he referring to?
Why'd you have to ask that?
Okay, I don't know. I just don't even know the. I heard a couple of people say this, but I didn't actually see the thing for myself.
Yeah, I think it was like in his practice and stuff, like just you know the approach to the game.
Right.
But he tries it again. A little frisky action towards top middle, getting towards the ladder rooms. Down right there. Barrel stuffs him with the AK. And as quickly as Boros was on the scoreboard, he's now watching from the side.
ยังไม่เห็นข่าวดองเลยดองไปไหนไม่รู้เหมือนกัน
It's one problem dealt with here. Snappy getting lodged in.
มันคงไม่ปล่อยเหตุการณ์ซ้ำๆเกิดขึ้นครับผม
This is 2 farmers from Ents. Come with them. Just like they did the Falcons. Over towards the A site. And Snappy does have a timing available for a push. Sunpius goes down first. Snappy from above.
หลังอีกแล้ว
It's one
รอบ
kill.
นี้ใช้เวลานานไปหน่อย
And it's not maybe enough.
Unless Magus does it again. Got 2 kills from here last time, but the wide swing exposes him to both. Madden, a bit of a Hail Mary round now as the 5-7 connects to the head, but it's this deep construction position that's just going to screw him over.
เหลือ
He's been found out. But he gets by the bullets. It's down on the reload. Oh, the no-scope. But he still doesn't know that it's behind him that Blame F resides. So 9-3's the score. Astralis, great T side. But the question of their defense remains.
เอามันใช่ที่เอาดองออกป่ะหรืออีกคนออกนะ
Apex drawn out in with another kill. Zywoo traded back. One-man army. 2 kills already to his name. 3 kills already claimed. And a 4th could be had. Oh my god! Cadian from start to finish with bomb. But here comes Dupree. Quietly, creeping, lurking. And Cadian saw a sliver. Oh my god! Oh my god! 1v5!
And now it's Dexter alone back here with the Glock, and they're all coming for him. 1 versus 4 as he takes down Brokey. Another 3 kills to find, and he's getting a little bit overwhelmed. But look at how he's isolating the fight. He gets 1 more. And now the question is, can he find a bullet on Wops? He's right around the corner, and Dexter's hunting for him. The tables have turned. It's a 1 versus 4 clutch for Dexter. Monacy alone again. 1 versus 4. And there's no reason they should challenge him here. They have him locked in. Yes, it's on him to get to the bomb site, get the bomb down, and FaZe should have the discipline to not face this.
Rops has an op in cave, locking him in. Brokey has an op on the cross.
Yeah.
Oh, good bait out of the shot, but there's one on catwalk. Oh, that's quick. Oh, that's quick. Another one baited out perhaps, but Rops is moving up. Monacy's aware. 17 seconds.
It's absolutely no way. Oh, he's back in the middle. No, it can't happen. Surely not. 10 seconds. He's backing off Rops. Can he catch him? There's a little peek, a little shoulder showing he's back at the bomb site. And at the very least, he's going to get the bomb plant here. Rops now out in the open. He's in a dangerous position. A little bit of a random Molotov. Misses the shot in Monacy. The clutch of a lifetime. I can't believe it.
Simple catches OC immediately. And Electronic also shines. Nitro, it's a good chance. Oh, and he gets 3 on Arch. Oh, he gets them all. 4 for Nitro. As the quick trade of Bit gets him back into the site and pushes all the pressure to Mezzy.
That was a key frag from Alexi. He took out Zywoo somewhere. Spinks nearly won that situation. But now they get comfortable into cold.
Bit secures his fallback. Mezzy's going to give himself the flash to work with. And now he knows. Bit just fired off a shot. It's a warning as to what's to come. Mezzy gets the first. Smokes keep them back. 25 health for Mezzy. And both CTs on top of each other with no vision to this site. If he secures 12th off this, then that carry back in Copenhagen means nothing. He hears it. 1 drops. He's aware. He's on presence and sharp. And as he peeks wide, he gets them both! A taste of the full English! A 1v3 from Mezzy for map points!
Oh, eat it up. All that black pudding, baby.
That's
a round to remember for Mezzy.
Ooh, little shoulder rubs to unwind as Astralis sit comfortably. Very comfortably indeed. On that 9-3 lead. But again, questions with the defense. All right, maybe this is where things turn around for the Falcon squad. Got Boros at the top of the board because of that 1 4K round. Right, 7 frags on the half, 4 of them instrumental to winning 1 of the 3 rounds for Falcons. It's not a lot to work with.
Sort of for what it's worth. Yeah, and I also just have to apologize because I said that Astralis had like no CT side, but that included a lot of maps with their old lineup, which I didn't think would be there because they had like changed 3 players. But they've only played 1 map with this full lineup, the RMR, and they won. So we just don't know exactly how confident their CT side will be. They have bad memories of it, but that could definitely all change with this new lineup.
Well, while we're apologizing, I'd also like to take back my comment about your mother. She is a beautiful woman. 2 flashbangs for Device. Whole kit and caboodle of utility for the T's. Blames out in the open. Oh, he gets away all right. Now he's got teammates. They're going back. Second servings. Blame F1 headshot. Matt in the return favor. Now down into the cover. As Device holds from above, we get the flashes and the follow through. He gets away. Oh, okay. He got away. And then Madden, 1 bullet through the smoke connects. Disgusting headshot there for Falcons. This T side could get the ball rolling. Device and Stare. Waiting for somebody to show him a little skin. A slip up from Falcons could unravel this bomb site, but instead it is Device alone. And Falcons follow through with those flashbangs. Full control with that comfortable amount of utility.
I love this. Max pressure on Astralis to win this game versus
บอกไม่อยากแข่ง CS2 เลยกด CS2 ไม่หยุดที่งงจัดซิมเปิล
That'll be nice to watch. Even though they had a great CT side, we can't forget that though. So the rounds they played, I mean, the individuals, the movements between players, I mean, they just looked very good overall. They didn't look awkward like they did at Bet Boom.
No.
A very awkward start for Astralis, so it's looking very nice now.
We've been so unlucky with like great roster debuts. You know, the Cloud9 debut that was spoiled last year because of visa issues with Axile. The Astralis debut at Bet Boom kind of buns, although that's just their fault.
That's just their fault, yeah.
You know, Donk not showing up for the Spirit Shiro Donk combo. Come on. Unlucky.
Yeah.
Glock out for Snappy here. Just vanilla pistols pushed to the wayside. Falcons a 5th converted. Caw. Try that again. That was very weird, dude.
Caw.
My name's Hawk.
Yeah.
Guns up, no op for Device. You rate Device on a rifle? You okay with that nowadays?
ซิมเปิลแข่งวาโลยิงไหวไหม
Device
คือถ้ามันมาเล่นเต็มๆอ่ะ
any year CS:GO
ให้เวลา
would
มัน
still be
ยัง
top
ก็ไหว
five
ครับ
player
ผม
with a rifle only. Everyone knows that.
ปีหนึ่งอ่ะพี่ว่าปีหนึ่งอ่ะ
Oh, no, all right, Stairs okay. It's in a bit of a risky spot there for a second.
Abby said in MR12, just a couple of pocket strats and you can win the game. You can win the game from home, he said, with enough preparation. His only disadvantage in this match is just not having that much time together as a team, but that doesn't change the fact that it could come down to a couple of good rounds, good calls by him. And here's one chance.
Damn, he really got that rotate going, and Boros
จัง
is
หวะ
going
โร
to
เทต
slip
บอลได้ยินหมดครับ
again. This could be another mid-round moment where Boros thrives.
Yeah, it could be great to watch this. Let's
And
see.
He doesn't push construction. Wrap CT instead.
It's the right play.
He hears the
right
movement.
play.
And now he could just start to
เหี้ย
sprint.
แม่
And
ง
if
การ
he
หลวม
can pinch
จัด
this
อ่ะ
A site, he got away from the second CT
Really?
player.
He's already kind of won the round, right? They just need to trade out Blame F.
And they do. That was a big if, but Blame
เม
F
เล่น
does
ยาก
go
ช็อต
down.
นี้
Device
ตัด
on
ได้ห
the
นึ่งก็
hunt
ดีละ
knows that Boros was here, so he could be in any of these corners, any of these cubbies. And sure enough,
ที่
sat
บอล
back
ล้น
on
เลย
CT
บอลล้นเลย
ledge.
ยับเลย
But there's a flank here in place for Astralis as well. Device gets a chance, but it's Boros with the headshot that could spell disaster now for Astralis. Stown got that first trade over towards the B side on Snappy, but it still gets unraveled because Boros goes big.
Yeah, that's a nice one. I mean, I was really wondering, you know, cerebrally, are we going to be
จริงๆพี่ได้ยินมาเหมือนกันนะครับซิมเปิลอยากเล่นไรเฟิล
Because as an entry and everything, he's been such a force. We know his aim is so amazing. And we see moments like this. But this situation is played ideally by him. Like his lurkout mid, the timing, where he was looking, when he transposed into being a part of the A play, like it was all perfect. And it was also all because of him. So that's a couple of rounds now where he's really put his name in. And I think that, well, what do we see? Astralis now have pistols. There's a real chance for Falcons to bring this back.
To double back as well to the
แต่
conversation
มันเดิน
about
มันเดินสวยครับ
the
เมื่อกี้คือ
unprofessional comments about Boros,
Yeah.
right? We double checked the article in the break.
เล่น
So
แอ
for
ตเตอรี่
anybody
แม่ง
else
โร
who's
เทต
also
มาพอดี
wondering your question,
แม่ง
like,
เลย
in
มาแบ
what
บจังหวะโคตร
context
ส
are
ว
we
ย
talking professionalism?
เลยถูกรู
Sonic
นะ
just said like he was showing up late for
แอตเตอรี่
things.
แม่ง
He
โร
was
เทต
taking
มาแบ
too
บ
long to respond.
มาแพ็คบีหมดเลยอะ
When you think about the amount
Nang
of
poi
money
tong kang
invested
bầu
now
à.
in this Falcons project, it's like this is a huge step up in terms of expectations and pressure for everyone involved. So, you know, it's kind of a wake-up call. Sonic said he has shown a great improvement. And this round he'll grab a couple frags as well, so the score line right there with him. But you do need that wake-up call. You've been kind of puttering along with some tier 2 teammates. No disrespect to those replaced on Falcons. But Snappy, Sunpius, and Madden didn't leave Ents for somebody to not answer messages on time. This is a team that wants to lift trophies. That's what Magisk is used to.
Sonic too.
Ents had a taste of. If you're going to surround yourself by champions, you better act like one too.
Yeah, I think it is sort of the perfect piece to the puzzle for Snappy, who
just needs to
be able to do better in finals. I mean, I will say I think there's a comment from Nerds about them, wanting to choke less in finals, right? But I think one thing that needed to be noticed was that Nerds and Sunpius are two of the players who I think were most needed in some of the finals last year, who had so much output and throughout the year. But in terms of big games, specifically big moments, they were two players who disappeared actually. So that's why I didn't have Sunpius quite as high, and I didn't even have Nerds on my list actually, even though they were definitely both great players. And I think that Zonic and Magisk are two players who, well, Magisk had no problem being consistent every game, big or small, in 2023. And Zonic knows what it takes to get everybody in the right mindset in those games as well.
Sunpius with a chance at an entry. His counterpart's right there. Ooh, but Device slides in for the grenade and Stairs not gonna get off that crane. Blame F single frag, Snappy, no trade back. And the defense, as quick as they peek, just scatter back into the cover. Boros towards mid again, this time cut down by Jabby. Magisk knows that the anchor's now forward, so go for this. And he gets deep. Off of that positioning from Jabby, Magisk has created a chance. His teammates come running over. And Device is looking to support. They've got him pinned behind the tall box. Jabby deals with it, and Device's op gets the best of Madden. A lineup that could have been. Three players stand tall for Astralis as the defense gets its first.
Wow, they just needed a touch more damage for that to be a viable attempt on the clutch, but Device's nice shot and perfectly handled in this situation with Magisk first off. So it makes this a very easy round for Astralis in the end, but showing how strong they are across the map. Jabby dealing with a lurk by himself this time, taking out Boros. That's a sigh of relief. And I think they also knew at that point that it was going to be a B split coming in. So Astralis with that, take 10.
Ooh. Looking to fight ramp on B. Yeah, straight down they go. Jabby and Stab. Headshot apiece. Blinking, you'll miss it. The double kill comes out for Astralis. Boros will trade frag back, but we've got Blame F getting active on A. And a bit of a disjointedness here between the pieces of Falcons that Stare and Blame can slide into. Boros on an op. But Blame's just shaved a bunch of health off Sunpius. There's the trade frag back, sure enough. Ooh, no second. Astralis consecutive with their round wins.
Great, actually, man. I wonder if they hit a stride, They could really hit a nice trend before the major with the way they're sort of ramping up. The question was, well, what was obvious was that you take the chance to have Stown and Jabby join your team. They replaced two players that they tower over, right? But role-wise, it's one of the most complicated roster moves that we've seen, and so that was fair reason to try to doubt it. But if they can overcome the awkwardness and create a new team out of this system, like Snappy said, 4 top 20 players on this roster, Astralis have a lot to look forward to. Some good early signs. And if their Vertigo, for example, instantly goes from their worst map to maybe a perfect map for this roster with 2 heroic players joining the team, then, well, maybe they can have their cake and eat it too.
They've been pretty aggressive on the CT side in terms of finding openings, finding cracks to flank through.
Yeah, it's always been the most heroic map in that sense, right? CT B aggressions are you're supposed to do them almost every round. You're supposed to hold vision, reclaim it, push it early, push with 3. It was perfect for heroic. And then on T side, Jabby, when he would lurk on T side, well, of course, he had full freedom, and he was very good at it.
kills
ปล่อยไม่
just
ได้
like
ละ
that.
ต้องเดินหน้าอย่าง
It's
เดี
a
ยวตอนนี้
desperate 3v5 push to A. Blame F takes a head off. And the tethering here between Blame, Device, and Stare has been fantastic. 12th round secured.
GG
You
ครับ
really are getting like this duality of Astralis on this map particularly. You got Jabby and Stown being heroic on one half, and that remaining core of Astralis locking down ramp every round.
Yeah.
So
คือถ้ามันเดินไป
Leave it
แต่แรกมัน
untouched,
เรียบ
like,
ร้อย
in
เลย
terms
ปะ
of switching to your new rosters, like we see
แม่ง
all
รอ
the
จน
three
แบบ
ENTS players on the A site.
yeah,
จังหวะแม่งได้หม
both
ด
teams
ตรง
doing
นี้
the same thing.
Why wouldn't you at least try to keep as much normalcy as you can when there's so many other things that you have to add and change?
You know, we go back one major. Vitality peaked exactly when they had to. Device played his best in that jersey as the French ran into the major. We got Copenhagen around the corner. And this is
จีทู
supposed
นา
to
วี
be
อ่ะ
the
ผม
Danish
จีทูดิครับ
super team.
รออะไรอ่ะ
I don't want to get ahead of myself, but if they can piece together an excellent week here and now, do something in Kato, you know, the run is comparable. But
Yeah.
a big if.
Yeah, if Vu's listening, by the way, this is what a super team looks like. You have to buy the players when they're already stars on different rosters. Yeah. When Astralis formed, they did it together, obviously. So.
Yeah, Vu.
Yeah, Vu.
Tough spot here for Falcons to try and hang on within
Oh,
their
okay.
map pick. Don't forget it. They took Astralis here. They trail by 5. They've got a frag into smoke between Madden and Boros. A Galil on 2. Not a pretty place for things to fall apart. Round 20 could be their end. They go quadruple setup in middle where there is nobody to hold them back. They'll get to elevator before they make contact. And at least Magisk has already pulled a player off the B site. Stown's gonna have to do something special. It's a ticking time bomb in that stairs push, but he does a good job of peeling off the first one. Blame F will find one in CT spawn. A fast flank from Stair as well, but bomb safely in the site, protected on both extremities. A teammate on either end of him guarantees that Falcons fight keeps going.
Yeah, at least that. So that's nice. There were some good kills there. Site was almost dealt with, but I do like the tempo when things are getting ugly. I don't really know how much Falcons have right now in the tank. I'm not surprised to see them pick Vertigo, though. That part makes sense to me. But I think they, you know, like when you hear Snappy say, well, Astralis, they have 4 top 20 players. Of course they're the favorites. I don't think he wants to believe that, but I think it helps him mentally to say, like, you know, we might lose because they still need more time to get good. And of course it is true. But I mean, when is there a point in CS where a team doesn't need more time? Like,
sure,
every single other week there's a roster move. So it's like,
and an event.
Yeah.
Practice time isn't really a thing anymore. You kind of practice live.
It's gonna be good all the time.
You know,
That's it.
You can practice in your officials.
Yeah.
You just have to pick which events are, you know, more or less, dare I say it, important. And I mean, you know, just being real with you guys, like, we have seen teams show up for blast groups. Look, just one season ago, Team Liquid showed up and said, like, yeah, we haven't really practiced much, but we're just gonna hit the ground running here. And then
sorry, that really Canadian right
the start of last year, and then they end up going to Showdown, and then they get eliminated, and then there's no Team Liquid at Blast Washington, the one land, like one of the 2 lands that year in America. It's like, well,
มันก็ต้อง
I sympathize
ยิงมันก็
because
ต้อง
you
สำคัญ
deserve
แน่
time
นอนอยู่แล้ว
off.
ครับบางทีเลิกไปยิง
But also
สู้ไม่ได้ก็มี
Get to work.
Get to work.
สำคัญคือตำแหน่งการยิงแต่ว่าเลิกมันแบบอาจจะต้องฟัง
I mean, I kind of like
information จากเพื่อนร่วมทีมว่าแจ้ง
I
ว่า
kind of like the idea at the beginning of the year as a boot camp.
เจอกี่ตัวตัวนี้กี่ตัวหรือแบบเพื่อจะเข้าทำแล้วหรือแบบ
a group stage.
ต้องอ่านเกมเอาครับว่าควรจะเดินตอนไหน
Not this time, Boros.
วินนี่ควรจะใช้มุกเดิมๆหรือควรจะเปลี่ยนมุกอะไรเงี้ยทำแบบนี้เขารู้แล้วก็
Nice, keeping that
หลายอย่างครับผม
mobile for the 5v4 that could put Falcons to their end. Could. 3 players creeping up A ramp. Blame F on short's gonna have a chance, but Sun Pius 2 bullets out of the AK, and he pops ahead with it. We get a quick move in from the rotate and Stown off of middle and into A. And Stare doesn't have a flash to put him around the corner, but he'll use the frag instead. Nobody right there, but they're not far off.
Waiting to poke back up again.
Magisk once more, solo B.
Oh,
they hear the drop off. Madden gives him the info. Stown goes wide with a double kill, and Stown makes sure to get all three. Just like that, up to 15 frags in this map, and it falls on the shoulders of Magisk to have to go and grab bomb. Audio cue given over. We're going to get all of Astralis to come and stack this. And as Falcons tried to take the Danes down a peg, not tonight. A clean finish from Stown.
ที่ว่าแอตตาลีชุดนี้นะยังไม่สุดว่ะ
didn't have the best start at the end of 2023.
มันต้องดีไวล่างแบบเมื่อก่อนอ่ะชุดนี้สุดเลยสไนดีไวยังไม่ค่อยเฉียบขาดเท่าเมื่อก่อนถึงจะมีช็อตคาดสวยๆดูก็ตาม
belongs to Astralis and I thought it was pretty convincing that it belonged to
ดูแล้วยังไงก็ยัง
You were right, Babsky.
ต่อกรกับพวกไวเทอร์ตี้เฟดไม่ไหวคือถ้าดีไวแม่งล่างทองอ่ะเนี่ย
What did you think of Falcons?
แอตตาลีชุดนี้แหละ
First look at them, right? On there.
It's so hard
Fire
to judge
power
anything from now, right? It was kind of
คือถ้ามันไปเจอแบบ
many aspects of the game. I think Boris
เจ
actually
อ
had
ไซ
a couple
บู
of good
เจออะไร
rounds,
อย่าง
which
งี้
I
แม่ง
think is going to be
ไม่ไหว
interesting
ว่ะ
to look out for.
เมื่อกี้ไม่ยังเสียเหลี่ยมโบลอสอยู่เลยถ้าเป็นสมัยก่อนนี่ยากจัดอะเหลี่ยมดีไว้รอเป้า
I
แม่ง
do think because it is their first
ไม่ได้
time
ว่ะ
man, right? This is the one thing Snappy mentioned that they haven't practiced together as much as they would like. They haven't had a chance to actually play in this environment because that
โอ้
really is
ไม่
the
ได้แล้วครับ
case,
ผ
right?
ม
When
ถ้า
you're
เป็น
in
เคเดียนตอนนี้
competition
น่าจะตีกัน
and
ตาย
you
ครับผ
have
ม
to figure out how everyone reacts to different pressure.
I mean, that's the game of Counter-Strike, really. We have so many
device
tournaments, you
เมื่อ
don't
ก่อน
really
นี่
get
แบบ
the luxury of
อย่างเมื่อกี้
being
ไม่
able to
คุมตรงกลาง
practice
อะ
obviously.
ถ้าเป็น
We
สมัย
had
ก่อน
all
ไม่มี
seasons,
ทาง
and
โดน
they've
แบบ
had one,
โบลอส
but
พีคมาแน่
we
นอน
haven't really seen it go to the next level.
Let's talk about Astralis now because this is a lineup that a lot of people are putting a lot of hopes.
โอเควันนี้เดี๋ยวไปพักก่อนนะครับ
Now
เดี๋ยว
we've seen them.
เดี๋ยวนี้ไม่ได้นอนดึกแล้วนะครับวันนี้ทุกคนนะครับวันนี้เจอกันนะครับเจอพรุ่งนี้นะพรุ่งนี้วอสปาร์ตี้วาโลเสร็จเดี๋ยว
For them to build upon what is
จ
already
บไป
there,
เดี๋ยว
I think
มา
it's
ดู
looks
เคาน์เตอ
great.
ร์ต่อนะครับเหมือนเดิมเวลาประมาณใน
Why
ช่วง
were
นี้
they able to take that map?
I think we look at the
นะครับผม
IGL
ทุกคน
role from
วันนี้ขอบคุณ
Blame.
นะ
I
ครับผ
had
ม
questions before
บาย
the
นะ
game,
ครับ
like
ส
how
วิต
good
แล้ว
of
ก็
an
ยูทูบ
IGL
นะ
is
ครับ
he? You were kind of convinced. I think the teams who's looked at Blame from the outside perspective would be like, is he really the leader that you want to have on your team? But he's really showed a great season, and he's also able to go first. I think he's willing to